We are back. Oh my god. We're actually back, guys. We're back in session.
Yay!
Charisma check is back. Shambazil Games is back. Because I'm going to test some levels here really quickly. And of course, we're all on our mics. We've been mic trained by now, so hopefully the audio is okay for you guys. Let me know. In the first little while, guys, we're going to test some levels. We'll go around the table, do a quick kind of reintroduction, get reacquainted with you guys, our fabulous community, and of course with where the story is at the moment. So we've got some music in the background. It's important that you guys hear too, so let us know how the levels are for you. First of all, welcome back to Shambazil Games Charisma Check on Thursday evening, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're about to launch into the season premiere of Season 2 for Charisma Check. We've been on a way too long hiatus. I think we're all going a little bit stark crazy, definitely suffering some serious tabletop withdrawal. We have some really great news, though. We sold our condo where the studio is now, which is why it looks a little drab and stark. It has that like an asylum kind of chic
Hotel.
that we're going through. Oh, hotel. That's a better way to put it. Hotel chic. But yeah, we're really excited about it. So on August 11th, we're going to be moving to another location north of the city. It's a really nice property. It's going to give us a little bit more, actually a lot more space to host the game. So we're really looking forward to that, and we'll have some announcements for you guys when we get closer to that. But the only reason I mention that is because around August 11th, we will probably have another dark week while we just kind of get things sorted out and get our ISP organized and everything like that. So we're really excited about it. We're going to be back in session as many times as we can. We'll stick to the Thursday schedule, and then around August 11th we'll have another announcement about how the schedule is going to progress from there on. So really pleased, but most importantly, thrilled to be back with you guys. Thrilled to be playing again. Thrilled to be rolling some dice and jumping back into our little story here. So with that, just because it is a brand new season and we're premiering the first episode tonight, we're going to go around the table really quickly. We'll start with Stephanie, a.k.a. Chyna, and just do a quick little introduction. Take it away, Chyna.
Thanks, even though I said don't start with me, but there you go. That's what happens when you're married to the DM. So, I am Stephanie. I play Chyna Bigly on Charisma Check. She is a sassy, sexy gnome. And she's a bard, and she loves to play her instruments and attract all the very attractive large men. What? Just one large man for now.
So far.
Yes.
Wait, am I the large man?
Didn't he turn you down?
No.
So far, her track record is very poor.
I listened to everything like 5
You could have
seconds
been the
after you
large
say
man,
it.
but you made me go first.
So that's why you say a hilarious joke, everybody laughs, and then 10 minutes later I'm like, or I'm like, lame.
I mean,
usually.
basically.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it. She's a sassy gnome, not as small as her size lets her on to be.
She's much bigger on the inside.
Yes, her voice shows.
Much like the TARDIS.
Yes.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, is it my turn?
Yes, I think it is your turn.
Anyways, I'm Meg. I play Tamasin, last name unknown, Cleric of Saloon, who is our resident healer machine, basically.
True.
Last we saw her, she had a bit of a day, but anyways, we'll get into that later. She is, I mean, I don't know.
She can't climb.
She cannot climb.
She can't climb
anything.
And
or
she can't
jump
throw.
over stuff. She
Or
can't
throw.
throw
Generally.
things.
No, yeah.
But she's real
Generally
good at healing.
subpar at
Yes.
athletics in general.
The best healer.
Yes.
But like, never ask her to do anything else. She can solve puzzles.
Great drinking
Yes.
buddy.
Also,
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of fun. That's right. Awesome. Cool. Are you finished?
I'm
Perfect.
good.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Twain, and I play a level 4 monk who's a wood elf. His name is Faerun Meliamne. And he's learning about this world as I am learning to play the game. So it's been very synergistic as we both discover the world of D&D together. Yeah.
Good word. I'm appreciative of that word.
Oh, thank you. Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
I am Brandon. I play Ranquess, aka No T, because there is no T at the end, and he will kill people if they put a T at the end, including party members.
I'm the only one with a T.
I'm basically the Wild Magic Sorcerer who will burn things first and ask questions later while sifting through the ash. So I'm kind of a pyromaniac, but he's a very charismatic pyromaniac because he got game.
Oh, did he ever?
It's true. So far, he has the
and
most
we've given
game
him a
of all.
mic right from the beginning of the show this time.
Excellent.
So he's on a live mic this time.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn. I'm Jones. I play Merkesh.
In your mic. I'm seriously going to beat you with it if you don't get in your mic.
So
You can
Merkesh
pull
should be
it
in
closer to you.
Okay.
It's an empty
Sorry,
threat. They're
sorry,
very
Merkesh
expensive.
is
He
in
would
the
never beat you
microphone.
with
Jones
it.
is over here. So I play Merkesh, a 4th level fighter who likes to stab things with many different stabbing implements like the rapier or the
Oh, the
scimitar.
That's why I
or
call
the
them
daggers,
blades.
Or the hand axes or the arrows.
And none of us.
Or the other dagger. Or the other scimitar.
I'm not doing my voice yet.
Yeah, and he's
That
just
was
out
one
looking
time.
for a good time up here in the north, looking to gain some strength and eventually head to the south and kill a whole bunch of people. He's a simple
Murderous. He's not that murderous, I don't think. He's a softie, really. Oh, I don't know.
Deep down.
I feel like there's a hidden kitten in there
He has a
somewhere.
squishy middle.
Yeah.
Say like I've got a nugget center.
Yeah, pretty much.
Squishy
Yes.
middle
He has lots of
Merkesh.
squishy.
Squishy middle Merkesh.
I would like to rage.
Tam's nose.
You need another level.
I shall call him
But
Fluffy.
then you're S and M.
We're also going to go back to the Q&A intermission at halftime or halftime-ish. So we're going to bring that back so we get back to interacting with the community in the middle of the show. So, guys, we're going to stay in the story when we're in it. We want to deliver the best playthrough experience that we can for the viewers. And that means that we might not always get to acknowledge the great things that you guys do in chat, whether it's great conversation or follows or donations or anything you like to do. And now, with 100% more subscription options, we have a subscription button now. So
With
really excited
subscribers.
about that. With subscribers, that's right. And on that note, actually, because I only found out that we had a subscription last night during my stream, I didn't really get to give proper props. So I wanted to shout out Claire Mander, of course. Claire's been a great supporter of ours. She's been a regular fixture around here, and she was our first subscriber. So really happy that she kind of took that honor, or we took that honor. She gave us that honor. So thanks very much. Seeing a lot of really great familiar faces in chat, guys. So thanks for coming back and being patient with us. And I also want to give a shout out to a new viewer, Moldy617, who was our second subscriber who came in last night. And they kind of had a really lame default alert that came up, and I felt bad about that because they're like, no, let's cheer you guys up a little bit. So they didn't even get the truffle shuffle. So yeah, thanks very much, guys, for your support in all forms, whether it's subscription, donations, or just showing up, following, tweeting. On that note, too, if you hit !CC tweet, Seth, if you don't mind throwing that into your chat for us, it'll give you a prompt that'll make it very easy for you to just click, tweet out the show. The very least that we can ask for is that you help us get the word out now. So we're pretty pleased with where the show is. We love our community. We've got a lot of great followers. Now we want to share it with everybody. So if you can !CC tweet, you'll get the prompt for that.
Someone's
and, help
fishing
us get
for
the word out.
inspiration
So,
already.
that's it for channel announcements. That's it for channel announcements. We're going to go into a quick recap to get you caught up on what happened last season and specifically last episode, and then we'll jump right into the game. We're going to go a little bit longer tonight because we're all pretty excited, and let's face it, like we need a fix. So that's where we're going for tonight. One last announcement channel-wise, there's no stream on Saturday. We're going to hold over map making Saturday because it's Canada Day, and us Canuckians, we like to get a party on Saturday, so I'm going to take it easy that night, but I might try and move map making to Monday because I still have to do the work for the show, so I don't want to waylay that. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll tweet out when it's going to happen, but most likely on Monday for a few hours. So hopefully we'll see you there. Now, last time on Charisma Check. We had, so in the last season, the party members met on the long, lonely ride up to the Moon Sea, and they were, by various various reasons, and contracts guarding and escorting a caravan, as many adventurers begin in their early stages of their career. They encountered a wizened old man who was, I wouldn't say wizened actually, he was just old and crazy, and he was ranting, and they saw him struggling with this beautiful gnomish performer in the street, and that's how they met Chyna Bigly. Also, they uncovered this strange riddle that spoke to oddities that had happened in the area. Seth Chaos, thank you very much for the subscription, buddy. Seth Chaos, another standard in our channel. He was our first and only moderator. He's been severely dedicated. Much love to you, Seth. Lots of love around the table for you. Thanks very much, brother.
I am.
So when we
Dun, dun, dun.
Ranquess
The
has
plot
mod.
thickens.
Oh yeah, well Ranquess is a mod too, but only by proxy. It's more formality. I shouldn't say that because he still has the abilities that a mod has. So don't kick me out of my own channel. So through that they managed to decode this riddle and solve many of these oddities that were happening, and they managed to tie them back to two arcanists, one Shadowmancer and one Shadowmancer's peon, and they claim to be part of the Shadow Resurgence, which is a perverted take on the loyalist circle that Ranquess, as we discovered, is a part of, and that's the Shade Enclave. Ranquess was dispatched to investigate these oddities and ultimately try to uncover the conspiracy that brought Thultanthar, the floating city of the Shade, crashing down into the ground and ultimately destroying both it and the elven city of Myth Draenor, which is where Faerun also has some ties, so there's some unity there. Long story short, they managed to tie it back to an individual named Lord Mistro. They defeated him and narrowly interrupted some twisted ritual that he was performing in the crypts deep below Myth Draenor in the Hillsfar
It's not our
foothills.
finest hour.
Ultimately, however, they had also generated some attention from the Red Plumes and the Tower Guard from Hillsfar, particularly one Desandro Dulac, who took an interest in Merkesh and found something familiar. They apprehended Ranquess and imprisoned him in the southern garrison. Well, the team banded together and ultimately sprung him from the garrison, and at the same time, Merkesh came face to face with one of his two siblings who had tortured him in his childhood and felled that sibling, putting the pin by saying to a locket that he keeps with him, one down. So some kind of a list that Merkesh is keeping. They made their way to Elventree, where they managed to befriend the Circle of Nine and the Harpers organization in Elventree. Fine's family also now residing in Elventree, so they had some safe haven there. They spent a couple of days becoming friendly with the civilians of Elventree, learning their ways, learning their customs, and ultimately gaining the trust and respect of the Harpers and the Circle of Nine. They also uncovered a deeper plot to publicly execute 3 Shade loyalists from Brandon's history, or Ranquess's history, excuse me. Sorry, I'm still rusty. Got to get back in it, get my head in the game. Which eventually led them to stage an incursion to Hillsfar, a very dangerous exploit. All of this is available in the Season 1 video too, so check that out if you want to get caught up. Long story short there, they managed to uncover a plot to publicly stage this execution as a display of power from the corrupt ruler Torrin Normanthal to exert his stronghold over the Hillsfar region. In a daring escape, they managed to evade the Red Plumes and the Tower Guard, and at the same time rescue not only the 3 Shadowvar loyalists, but also a civilian named Ore, who was an administrator in the proxy building where the Shadowvar were being held. They had a grand reception back at Elventree when they arrived, filled with merriment and revelry and maybe a little side action for some players. You'll have to watch the last episode. It's episode 10, titled Free. It's a great episode in my unbiased opinion. It's also the first one where we had all of our technology ultimately working, and it'll give you a great catch-up to lead into tonight's episode, which is titled Hand of the Harp. So this is the season premiere for Season 2 of Charisma Check. Hope you enjoy it.
Twinkle fingers.
In just a minute. Hold your enjoyment, please.
We'll
The
be
suspense is so
right.
suspenseful.
Hold your enjoyment.
I just want to
Come
roll a
on
die!
down to Joe's Suspenders store.
Wait, did you say roll initiative? I thought I would.
We all just roll. We're just fighting nothing right now. We're fighting each
Just
other.
for fun, why not?
All right.
Sunday.
And as we come back into session, the players are mid-feast in a celebration that the Hand of the Harp and the Harpers the Harpers organization, the Circle of Nine, and the entire community of Elventree has thrown. Ranquess has retreated away to his room in the Swaying Bow Inn with his new relationship budding with Ore, and in an amazing display of arcane might manages to basically play and swoon her in one fell swoop. And when we last left, the Swaying Bow became the Rockin' Bow. Merkesh and Chyna had managed to split off, and Chyna actually let Merkesh see a little bit more of her backstory, and she opened up as to some of the strange attacks that she's been suffering, and oftentimes at the peril of the party, unbeknownst to them. So she shared a lot of information with Merkesh that she hadn't previously shared.
Information in a very short period of time.
Oh, yes.
Tamasin had just undergone a fairly intense goddess walk, I think she was calling
what I'm
it.
calling
Which is
it.
a ceremony that was performed with the assistance and guidance of the Sister Saloon, in which she traveled through a distant and unknown memory to her, but there were pangs of familiarity, and at the end of it, another individual, awfully familiar to her, almost twin-like, but otherwise unbeknownst to her intentionally. And Fine had made reacquainted with, or reunited rather, with Emerald Sweetwater, who fixed you up with a pretty nice staff, if I do recall. And at the moment, the fires begin to die down. The night begins to creep into midnight, into the early wee hours of day, and even the most intent revelers in the city of Elventree begin to file away to their homes for the evening. But not before Garrick raises a toast
It's just a toast.
to their new champions.
Raising.
Ooh.
And swathed in the splendor of the celebration of your return, Garrick honors your success with a community toast. Friends old and new raise a glass, not only to your daring rescue and the promise of new ties and rebuilt relations with the Shadowvar, but also to the promise of new heroes in their midst. To punctuate your contribution, Garrick and Hilrad proclaim the group with the title Hand of the Harp. Additionally, Garrick proclaims you as the charge of Elventree and declares that you will have full access to travel, trade, and military network under his command on behalf of Elventree and the Akvilar as needed. Finally, they humbly offer you full sponsorship and endorsement to the ranks of the Harpers, should you accept. As a final gesture of appreciation and their commitment, they have secured apartments on the main approach. This is the Elventree reception where the trade merchants were situated, for each member of the Hand, close to the House of the Harp. The day breaks anew to the stark contrast of a light, fresh rain pelting the leaves, branches, and foliage that give Elventree its presence. As you wake into this new dawn, you are free to begin as you wish, but you do recall that you made an appointment with the Shadowvar to reconnect with them, go over the details of your previous mission and the clues and information that you were able to uncover regarding the current investigation into the fall of Thultenthar. Let's go around the table. Let's start with Chyna. Sorry, what's that?
So it's been 2 weeks, right?
Not yet. This is still the next day. So this is the next day after the celebrity. We're
12
not into
hours.
downtime. We did have a week of downtime. We're going to go into that around the table in just a moment. So
All right.
this is just the morning after. So
Oh.
essentially, Ranquess has made
I'm not up.
Ranquess has made an appointment
I'm not
to
up.
revisit the Shadowvar. Hilrad urgently went off to research
I am not
this
feeling
ancient
well.
evil that has somehow been disturbed in the forgotten depths of Hillsfar.
Hashtag
And
Hillsfar's
and you have an
problem.
appointment with the Shadowvar. So basically, obviously, Ranquess, they urgently or definitely urge you to attend for obvious reasons, and anyone else in the Hand of the Harp and the Charge of Elventree is more than welcome to join.
I'm not awake.
I'd be happy to join.
Chyna
but,
sleeping in?
I'm
I'm gonna
asleep.
continue carving
Okay.
the wood for the bow in the mic. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, about an inch away from the mic. Don't be afraid of it.
Into the
No, don't do
microphone.
that either.
Don't do that.
Just sit into the mic
Talk.
God,
like a normal
The mic is your
person.
friend, Joe.
Jesus. There you go.
Swear words.
Posture,
children.
good,
Swear
very good,
words.
nice. See, look how tall you look. Nobody knows. Nobody knows the difference.
It's all a facade.
We have the best mics, the greatest, truly.
No.
Uh,
I would
no,
compulsively
it's-
punch you.
a lot of anger that's been pent up, and this is why we need to do this weekly. Sorry, Tamasin.
I am awake, but I am not feeling the greatest because I drank a little too much last night because I had a bit of a day. So I am where are we sleeping?
You now have your own apartments that are
Aw.
on the Elventree approach, just feet away from the House of the Harp.
Okay.
So
like on
these
the
are
west
burrowed,
side.
like small one-room apartments that are
Story.
burrowed into the trees, and vines kind of grow over them. A couple of small peepholes on the sides.
Is there
where
somewhere
torchlight
I could
flickers
get food or like really strong coffee?
through. Absolutely. There's still the Swaying Bow Inn,
Okay.
just about a 10-minute walk from where you are.
I will
Emerald, I'm
head
certainly
there
be happy to. Okay.
have some breakfast.
Fair
and
enough. You make your way up
feel
to
less
the
like food.
Swaying Bow Inn to find sustenance and a little more comfort. And something to maybe quench the soul as well as the
Yeah,
body.
probably.
Fair enough. Fine. What's on the docket?
Yeah, so I think, I'd sleep in till mid-morning and then head out for, just reacquainting. I haven't been home in a while. Sorry. Character voice.
There you go.
So, yes, perfect.
We're all a little rusty, but we're
Yes,
getting
very good. So, yes, I think I'll be up early. And then, just reacquaint myself with Elventree. I haven't been home for a while, see what's changed and, hit the old haunts. I still have the Calipers, right? The ancient
have the-
elvish Calipers.
Yes,
Calipers, sorry?
yeah, the calipers, yeah.
Calipers.
Yeah.
Upon my wanderings with Faerun's memory, my new quarterstaff, I would like to do a little bit of research to see if I could find anything else, maybe about why and where these were, like why. Just basically the five W's. Why, where, when, why, what, when, how.
Roll me an investigation check, please.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, through
The
how
8
in
W's, yes.
Double check the end
Sorry?
counts.
Roll an investigation check.
Investigation check. Thank you. Oh, not good. Yeah. A 4.
Despite tapping into your strongest networks and the few trade merchants that actually reside in Elventree, people seem fascinated with the archaic nature of these calipers, but nobody seems to really be able to give you any other information.
Is there like some sort of reference library maybe I could adjourn to?
Hillred would have been your best bet, and he
Yeah.
took off
Okay.
fairly immediately after you told
Very
him
well.
that you basically unleashed hell on Hillsford.
You know what then?
My bad.
All right, I'll put a pin in that then. And then I'll head down to the markets maybe to trade in this
I've
hempen
never done that.
hempen rope for some silken rope instead.
For some
Silk rope.
silk rope.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's a little lighter. I think it's more in line with what I can do.
Fancy, huh?
Just a little bit. Just right. I don't want to be
suggest that
encumbered
you,
as much.
I'm going to tell
Just
you.
some
Wait, that's still a
fancy
thing,
rope.
right? In
All
5?
it's fine, it's fine.
This is going
Ooh.
to feel
Fully entitled
dialed.
to just-
Pleasure
It's going
and
to feel
business.
really lovely
Yes.
on your body.
Without too much difficulty, I mean, logically, your
Oh yeah.
search would take you to Emerald first.
Yes.
I think I just
Emerald
mixed him up with the Emerald from the Swing Bow. Sorry, my bad. And he's got silk rope and spades.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He can actually
I'm just
cut your
trying to
length
provide
and
about
choose.
3 hours worth of activity.
Okay.
3 hours worth? How much earlier am I up
Sure.
than you guys?
How much rope did you want to purchase?
About
30 if you're looking for it.
50 feet.
50 feet?
If I'm willing to go down as little as 30 feet, yes.
10 gold.
10 gold?
It's 10 gold. Player's hand guide Rainman over here.
Plays 130, 10 gold.
Yes. Oh my god. How did
Thank
I...
you.
It's 150,
Fucking guy.
not 130.
No, it's not
It,
130.
oh, it is
Well, it's
150.
150.
It's a 5, not a
That's
3.
what you get when you try
Oh,
to
your
show off
meta
on the
is
internet.
Dyslexic
tuning.
Rain Man. Like that.
What is it? Ranquess?
150.
150. Gotcha. Thank you. All right.
Special
Okay.
guy. Look at me looking at numbers from far away through my friggin' bifocals.
Poor
Get
guy,
out of
poor
here.
guy. So 50 feet of silk rope. Yeah, 10 gold. Of course, you are a hand of the harp.
Sorry.
He'll give it to you for
Oh, you
half
get a
price.
discount?
Grandpa.
I'm sorry.
5 gold. He'll give
5
it to you
gold,
for
thank
half
you.
Because he likes you.
Yeah.
Read numbers.
He likes your face.
Perfect. That's all I can do in Elventree, and I'll wait for the rest of my party, maybe at lunchtime or something. Is that?
Okay.
I'll
Sounds
be
good.
up by lunch.
Ranquess.
I'll be on my third.
I wake up extremely early with a huge grin on my face because that was the best and first time he's ever done that. So he wants to do it again.
Another cherry.
And
Another
so
cherry has been
he wakes
taken.
up Ori, and they spend some more time, and then he basically just leaves her, tucks her back into bed, and lets her sleep in, and makes his way over
And then he just
to
leaves
the
her.
Shadowvar to be able to have the meeting because he doesn't want to be late for a meeting that he set up.
Sounds good. I wasn't sure if you were going to leave it at that. If he just like leaves her, it's like, oh, he's a natural. There you go.
It's nice that you
No,
get
no,
to
just
throw
leaves
down
her in there,
without a
lets her sleep
performance
because
check.
it's none of her business what's going on with the Shadowvar and with the fact that I might have unleashed hell and killed her entire family and any relative she had in the city still. I don't really want that
We're not going to
information
talk
coming out
about
yet,
that.
so
But
yeah,
you gave her a house.
we're just gonna put a pin in that.
He's still a little bit of a
You
gentleman.
did give her a house.
Glad to see
I
that's
did.
preserved.
It's an apartment.
No, it's a full
It's-
barn,
it's
full
like a
farm,
farm.
like
It's like
with
a
a house and
farm.
everything.
It's got some
Fresh
Oh,
nice
right.
stuff.
Oh, that house.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's
or I
got-
thought you meant right now.
The
And it's
rest of
got
us
a
have
hole in the
apartments.
ground with a
Or
with
it
a
has
tunnel
I right.
that
We
leads
gave
to
her
a
the
demon.
farm. Yes.
We broke the tunnel to the demon. We're all
Sorry,
good.
it's Emmerich. There we go. Emmerich. So as you return to Emmerich, he begins to fix you up a feast, Tamasin, and you see Ranquess
like, no.
making his way down the stairs in freshly pressed robes, as he always seems to be wearing. There's a large, immovable grin on his face, and he seems ready to challenge the day.
Fun fact: prestidigitation does get rid of sex smell.
You know, that's
So
a
no
thing
one's
that I
gonna-
never wanted or needed, but thank you. I'm glad I'll stow that away
The
from
medieval
future.
commercials are
That's
already
definitely a
writing
house rule.
themselves. Have you ever felt? You know,
I mean, well done, I suppose.
How was your evening?
It was an evening.
That's good.
I'm drinking a lot of coffee. It's fine.
Ah, festivities.
Yes, so many festivities.
Well, I actually have a meeting that I have to get to with the Shadowvar. You're welcome to join me if you wish. It's regarding
Yeah, I
what
mean-
went down in Hillsfar and
Well,
what
like the
I
big bad
may
evil
or
thing
may
that
not
may
have
be about to kill us all?
unleashed. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I should
That-
probably come
that
to
thing.
that. All right, hold on. I'll just get this to go. And I'm coming along.
All right, you join up and make your way out of the swinging bow, Merkesh.
they would catch up with me outside of the swaying bow as Merkesh, as per the usual, wakes up early at the crack of dawn and goes out to practice his martial forms, which is how he gets down. I mean, it's
Fair enough.
what he does in his free time.
You encounter another friend as Merkesh is now going through the familiar motions that you know, he's honing his discipline and working through his martial forms in the early daylight.
Are you practicing missing more things?
Yes.
Smart.
I find this intriguing.
Maybe later.
That's what I thought.
We have business to attend to.
Merkesh
So I
is joining.
flick the sweat off my brow and put my weapons away and follow along. I get next to Tamasin and say, "You look better."
Thank you. I felt better. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, as the drizzle continues to cascade down, covering everything in just a light dew, you make your way down to, again, this familiar and soothing emerald green carpeting of the Elventree landing, now becoming damp and flattened just ever so slightly with the morning dew and this light early shower. As you make your way towards the Elventree, through the familiar hallways, through the secret entrances, down the chute, and into the common room, in the hall, it opens up. And as you enter the Council of the Nine Chambers, you do see Leon, Colm, you see Aravel and Jarlin, and they seem to have given the Shadowvar free reign of the room. That's all that attend at this moment. Currently, there are no other members of the Council of Nine. And as you return to make Kilrad's acquaintance with the Shadowvar, you're joined by Colm, Aravel, Jarlin, and Leon. Apparently, I said it, and I wrote it down to you. They're all sharing a solemn gratitude as they humbly nod to you as you enter the room. While the high buzz of the celebration and the festivities the night before linger in recent memory, they have an air of a team that has not forgotten the importance of their pending task. Colm invites the others to sit and share what knowledge they have from their time in Torrin's custody after a brief moment of reacquaintance and catching up from the night before. Colm looks at you and says, The other elderly gentleman will be joining us, presumably. He was here earlier. He had to go and continue his research. In the meantime, allow me to share with you what I know. I don't want to take the wind out of our celebration, but we do have to stay on task. Colm, Aravel, and Geraldine take turns filling in for one another when the details between them become fuzzy and too difficult for each to bear. They share with you that they were kept close to the tower guard at all times during their stay in Hillsfar, their imprisonment in Hillsfar. And there was always at least one red wizard consort with them, except with the exception being overnights in their stay in the proxy building where you broke them out of, attached to the arena. Every day they were tortured and questioned at the hands of the red wizard inquisitors in the Thayan Enclave where you first encountered them, and then returned to their holding in an old guard keep near the proxy building itself. The wizards seem insistent on learning everything they had, that the Shadowvar had learned in their time in the Hillsfar foothills. And eventually they were beaten into revealing that they were investigating the conspiracy surrounding the fall of Thultanthar. Fortunately, that was all the information they had, so they weren't able to forcibly take any more from them. The wizards seem... Sorry, again, lost my notes here. They were also forced to submit that their search had led them to the Hillsfar foothills amidst reports of strange things and occurrences happening there, and that they were being attributed to the Shade Enclave, falsely, as you know. And of course, they were certain that these are falsehoods. They were certain at the time that they were falsehoods, although they didn't have the same information that you had. They share that there are but a handful of loyalists remaining, and they are hiding in the former location of the city of Shade, which resides in a cave network amidst the scimitar spires of Old Netheril. And this is far west of where you are now. So Old Netheril is the desert beyond the spires. And this is where the city of Shade was originally erected. So they've basically retreated into this network of catacombs in the hills to stay in hiding. The remaining members beyond that have long since defected to a perverted cultist version of their order, and they weren't able to glean any further information, but this is what they're sharing with you now. They did not share this with the Red Wizard Inquisitors at the time. They're convinced that it was only Torn Normerthal's interest in them that kept them alive beyond that, or they would have long been shipped to the Citadel, the Citadel in Thay, or worse. From here, Colm looks to Leon in Ranquess, and he asks you if you would kindly share any details of the investigation that you may be able to fill out what they've learned. So in your time, were you able to glean anything better than us?
As far as the cause for the fall, I still do not know any information as to what caused the fall of the great city. All I was able to find out is there has been the perversion of the Shade, and basically they call themselves the Shade Resurgence. We thought they were being led by a man named Mistro. We came across Mistro as well as one of his underlings named Supremus, and both of them met their end. But we've had no further information.
Wait a minute. I got his book.
This could be great.
A book.
Do you have the book with you? He was performing some sort of strange summoning ritual. I've never seen it before. Yes, this was Mistro.
So I reach into the bag and pull out the evil tome I removed from his thing.
And it is inscribed in a burnt leather binding, and on the cover is a fashioned emblem of Thay that has been perverted, and you now know this emblem to be the adopted emblem of the Shade Resurgence, the false and perverse version of your faith.
May we give the book?
Go ahead.
I take the book and I hand it over to him and basically say, maybe some research we can find out what the summoning ritual was that he was performing.
Aye, but something this dark, I'm certain, still carries some method of perversion. Please set it down. And he kind of shrinks away as you hold it towards him.
I put it down very gently and look at him confused.
As you gather around the table and you see this book laying here, it almost seems to radiate its own sense of evil. There's a dank, leathery smell, but a musk to it as well. And Colm waves his hand over it, and you see almost a vibration, a tremble in his hand, and he says, "It should be safe, but there's definitely darkness surrounding it."
Well, if it helps, I picked the lock.
You did. Have you read this volume?
I couldn't read it, but... I mean,
Would you do the honors
glance at
then, brave one? And kind of they look at each other as they
I
step
reach
by.
for the book. I pop the clasp on the book and open the first page. It was previously in a language I couldn't
They look
read.
somewhat sheepishly as nothing happens. All right, okay, well,
Hey, does it look like anything to you?
as you
Can I
gaze
read
over
the
the
language?
pages, it's written in ancient Old Netheril, but enough ties to the common tongue of the Netherese that you can easily piece together the inscriptions and passages in this tome. And as you all thumb through and pore over the tome together, at least the Shadowvar, and they're kind of translating as they go through in piecemeal form, just to make sure that you guys aren't lost in the conversation, unless you speak Netherese. It outlines the following information regarding to your investigation to the purported Shadowvar trade or Shadow Trader. And through it, you learn that Mistro was a student of shadow arts and a training under an executive in Thultanthar about a year before the city fell. The tome outlines numerous interactions with the counselors of Thea under the direction of the Red Wizards. Mistro was instructed to use demonic ritual magic to wreak havoc around the Hillsfar region and would be rewarded with leadership over a new era, the Shadow Resurgence. He systematically identified Shade loyalists in the region and engineered run-ins with local lawmakers over the past few months. A number of documents and deeds for the land in the area, a copy of a deed for a livestock farm south of Hillsfar. I keep stepping on Blizzard's toes there. Hillsfar, bearing the seal of the Lords of Alliance in Hillsfar. There's a list of several pseudonyms and names of two of his trainers in Thultanthar, Aravel, and Jarlin. And as they read their names out, they suddenly, there's a mark of realization as their faces grow gaunt and almost pale instantaneously. They remember this student, they just never knew him under the name Mistro. Seems to be something that he took, and there are, like I said, various pseudonyms and aliases that he took in his time, constructing this with the guidance of the Red Wizards. A final ominous passage in the journal suggests that in his final days, Mistro had descended into madness, disposed of the instructions even from his Thayan puppeteers, and was seeking a way to open a gate to the plane of shadow, discover and even retake Thultanthar in the name of the Shadow Resurgence. As you grow through the back of the tome, you find 3 pages that stand out from the others. And along the long spine side are runes in Netherese that read, "The shadow aid me now," in perfect, almost dotted lines. And as you,
Aid?
"The shadow aid me now."
Aid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard 8.
I heard 8.
And as you run your finger along the dotted line and speak the words, the page separates from the book. And you recognize the scripture, the flow. It's absolutely an arcane practice. And there are 3 of them, and they represent 3 scrolls that are usable by you. One for Alter Self. One is a scroll of Alter Self. Another is a scroll of Crown of Madness. And another is a scroll of Gentle Repose.
Damn, sorry, man. I didn't know I was carrying 3 scrolls for you this whole time.
Just for reference, they found
that's
this
been in
in
your
like
bag for a
episode
really long
4
time.
Yeah.
of season 1, and
That was
Merkesh
prologue.
took it because he thought it would be important, and presumably forgot about it until now.
It was in my bag. I mean,
I mean, to be fair, we did all almost die.
And he did
Other
get
things were
captured
important.
in
immediately after
Markesh's
that.
defense, I can't stab anything with a book.
But I mean, I can't say anything. I'm not here. I'm in bed.
As Colm's face reorients, his glare turns steely as he looks from the book to you. He softens. There is said to be a shadow core hidden within all enchanted cities that the Shade Enclave raised, including Thultanthar. They were implemented as a recorder of sorts, but thought long lost to the plane of shadow in the city herself. It could hold information that Mistro was seeking, if he was coherent enough to think so soundly. Ultimately, the Shadowvar commits to returning to Netheril with this new information. We will petition Garrick to see if he can help us secure safe passage west. We feel that we need to return to our people here.
I understand. I only ask that one of you, perhaps you, Leon, go to the farm and keep watch.
Leon stands up. He says, "Gladly, it would be my pleasure. And not only that, patron, I would request," as he turns to Colm, "I would request that I be allowed to come on back and stay with Ranquess and our new friends here. I think I've come to know the citizens of Elventree quite well, and it might serve us to have a liaison in the Elventree proper." And Colm kind of nods. "Make good sense, child.
It's about
Ranquess,
girl.
if this is your preference, we'll leave Leon in your care. And our relationships with the Elventree.
Leon,
People.
we have but one rule. No shirt, no shoes, no adventuring.
Leon looks at you, Riley, and says, "I guess I have to show that I can follow orders then." And he starts to disrobe. It's like, it's fairly familiar to me. It's a bit cold today, but warm otherwise.
No, I mean, if you're not wearing a shirt or shoes, then you're not coming
Please put
adventuring.
your clothes back
Oh,
on.
right. Oh, yes. Oh, no, please. I wish to come with you. And he starts dressing like awkwardly, and he starts to turn like a beet red at his own
My life is so much more interesting now that I hang around with you guys. Just saying.
Colm explains to you that his intention then is to take Aravel and Jarlin back, champion and gather the remaining members, and see what they can do to raise their own numbers, rebuild the city of Netheril, and look into what it would take to return to the Shadow, and see if they can pick up Mistro's steps in a more coherent and intent fashion. Finally, as they collect their belongings and solemnly begin to make their way towards the door, Colm turns to you, removes his own signet ring, and he says, "Child, I can tell that you are missing a piece of you. Take this. It represents your connection to the Shadow and your full brotherhood." He places a signet neatly in your hand.
I thank you. I do feel more complete with this on me, but I know this is yours, and you will have it back one day. I
Well.
will find my own.
Make no rush on our behalf. I'm aware of our past indiscretions as you are concerned, and I apologize for the missteps of my brethren before me. Let no one ever question your merit or your loyalty to our cause. And know that when you return to Netheril, and we return to the floating city, you will, as will you all, be celebrated. But we will protect your legacy. We thank you.
Safe journey.
And they all kind of bow and make their way out, back through the common room, and into the former area.
Hey guys, I got a ring.
Thus
Did you have one of
solidifying
those
your
Yes,
re-entry
and I
and
will find it.
obvious
Alright.
welcome back to the Shade Enclave. Which leaves the rest of you with some time. And as you as Chyna sleeps in, the rest of you continue to regroup, to find your footing. You now have this new information relating to Ranquess's investigation, and of course now the very pointed involvement of the Red Wizards and their active hand in this, to some degree. You have the information that you have, and with that you begin a week of rest, a week of involvement with your new community, solidifying those relationships that you've built. Obviously, better known now in the area than you were before. Quite celebrated, and you're greeted by grins. You're greeted by the absolute best level of service that anyone in Elventree can offer. Treated like kings as best as they can, of course. But there's a humble modesty to it that is warm. What's that?
I said, and queens.
And queens, yes, of course. Kings and
girl.
queens.
Fine.
My bad. Chyna begins to play now and then at
Now
various
and then.
locations. All the fucking time. All
Constant.
the fucking time. Every fucking
Where's
where.
China?
And now actually we'll we'll take a quick round the table because we did handle the downtime off stream, which is what we'll do when the characters have downtime. We'll talk that amongst ourselves, and then we'll do a recap of the downtime. So let's go around the table, and after a week has passed in Elventree, all wounds are healed, but the remnants of your various
emotional scars
intentions
remain. It was in my mouth.
still stay. So
He's never getting
what
over
has Chyna been doing in a week in Elventree?
Chyna's been working on her song for the competition. Because there's a talent competition looking for the best bard, and I know I'm the best bard, but, you know, better show I'm the best bard. So I've been writing a song about all of our adventures with my friends, and I've been practicing it and writing it all week long, and playing bits and parts of it to various people, and drinking, and visiting Zook as well.
Visiting Zook.
Yes.
Zook is a companion that she befriended, also a Harper agent. He's a yellow fairy who makes his home
Dragon,
now.
fairy dragon.
Fairy dragon,
Yes.
sorry. Yes, very important distinction.
Different.
Who makes his home
distinction.
with Dottie and Whittle in the Halls of the Unicorn, which is the Temple of Meliki in Elventree. And they also bestowed upon you a beautiful harp that allows her to summon Zook as long as she is within a forest land setting.
Yes. And I've talked to Garrick now and then.
And you talk to Garrick now and then.
Now and then.
Somewhat of a maybe perhaps a lingering flame there.
Bit of a sore spot.
It's a bit of a sore spot.
It's a bit of a sore spot. We don't
I've
talk
made sure
about
to
it.
show him my best side when I'm with him.
Okay, fair enough. And you do see now increased occasions where these flyers and posters have started to show up, and where the first ones that you encountered said, you know, gather your best, gather your brightest for Anduin Icon, the search for Faerun's brightest star. Now the posters carry more information. They herald a panel of celebrity judges and massive prizes and riches, but most importantly,
Nice,
the
I can make
fame
us all
that
rich.
is absolutely guaranteed for the pole position, the number one entry. And they've now attached a location, and it's taking place at an event called the Talespinner's Jamboree, which is it's being staged about a half a day's ride south of,
That's
actually not even a
close.
half a day's, maybe a quarter day's ride south of Ulash, which you know to be a mercenary town to the northwest of Elventree.
Where is it?
The occasions go from the odd pamphlet and brochure to literally every time you take a road outside of Elventree, you see posters literally everywhere. So the PR campaign is ramping up.
Where is-
It's Ulash, Yulash. As they really seem to be generating buzz and excitement. Now and then, a couple of traveling troubadours will make their way from Elua's Lighthouse and the Stop, which is in the northeast of Elventree, through Elventree, stopping for supplies, and onward towards the staging ground. It's said to begin in about a week, which would be maybe a few days after your week downtime ends.
All right.
Is there anything else for Chyna?
Nope. No.
Okay.
She's good.
What keeps Tamasin busy
She's
for a week?
ready.
So many things. So Tamasin is spending her time. Her dwarf mummy's here, so she's spending some time with Barda, dwarf mummy. Barda raised her, and she hasn't seen her for like a year and a half, so they have a lot of catching up to do. She also has been researching into the locations and specifically the girl who she saw in her vision, who she suspects is a sibling of some form or the other. And is working on trying to figure out where she might be based on the vague amount of information she got from her goddess walk. And she's enlisted the help of the other Sisters of Saloon as well as the Harpers to aid her in that. And other than that, she's mostly just been sort of relaxing and coming to terms with the fact that she's got a goddess living in her brain. So there's that. Yeah.
Very good. As Barda certainly enjoying her time with you. It's been so long, and I'm sorry that that we had to reacquaint in such a fashion, but I'm glad for the information we are able to share.
So am I.
So a sister, you say?
Well, that's what it looks like. I mean, she certainly looked a lot like me. Very close in age either, so I don't know if older, younger twins even, but very much like me.
Well, the unfortunate young lady who dropped you off at our little chapel when she did spoke of siblings. Perhaps this is one. You might be onto something there, else.
Well, yeah, it would be wonderful to find her. It's hard because I don't remember anything about it. You know that. So I have nothing to go on other than this. Even seeing her face, it was familiar, but not in the way that it's familiar to see someone you haven't seen for a long time. I can't really explain it. I know that she means something to me, but I couldn't tell you anything else about her.
Well, perhaps with a few more sessions, if you've got the strength, we might be able to get a little more information and draw some better conclusions.
I'd be willing to try.
Only if you feel comfortable, dear.
As long as you're here, I'm fine.
I'll do everything in my power to make sure you're safe. That was my promise then and is now.
All right, then.
And Shasta steps in, and she is often reassuring with you in her long, soft tones. Over time, they don't take you deep into a goddess walk the way they did earlier, but they do spend a lot of time comparing notes, discussing what you have seen and what they may mean. They take these accounts into previous examples with former walkers and former sisters in the circle who have been awakened in the way that you had. Also in that time, you go in and out of cold spells. Your visions have subsided for the time being as you feel your strengthening of the bond with Saloon. You're close to the temple, you're very secure in your bond now. But every now and then you have these pangs of just frigid cold and you shiver as if though you're walking through the dead of winter yourself. And as you raise these issues to the Sisters of Saloon, they take them in stock with the rest of their investigation, and they simply continue to try to find some kind of reason. But at the moment, within the week, they don't seem to be getting any closer, and they suggest that they may have to go deeper and try and find some way to make a tangible connection between you and whoever this vision is, or the person in this vision is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Fine.
That's exciting.
Perfect. So
During your downtime.
So for the first couple days, it's mostly family and friends, and just sort of reconnecting. Also making sure to, honor Faerun's memory, actual memory and actual weapon in equal parts in some ways. Plenty of practice to really become attuned to the new weapon. After about 3 days of that, I imagine there's enough time to swing by and visit Bia, the orphanage. Is that within a week's time?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I decided to go out and help her and the family, maybe for a day, with whatever they need. Reacquaint myself with them as well, and make a small donation of about 8 gold of my personal to help with future costs and food and what have you. Swing back in time and just really sort of feel home, because I don't know when next that will happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
As you arrive on the Farborough farmstead, Bea is overjoyed at the pleasure of seeing your face again. The kids are just insane with energy, as they usually are. Bea running an orphanage for outcasts from the Hillsfar exile. So they are children of all mixed races, half-orcs, tieflings, dwarfs, elves, everything in between. And your involvement with them ranges from cooking with household meals to tending the farms to exterminating vermin at times, everything from wolves to more unsavory encounters. There are still every now and then you run into an odd twisting of a natural beast. The Rothe that you remember, you run into a couple of those where you've had to actually quell and dispatch them. So you've gotten some pretty good practice with your new quarterstaff, the Theron's presence.
Memory.
Theron's memory.
Yes,
Theron's memory.
Yeah.
Testing out all the skills and checking your balance and seeing how far you can push this thing. Just otherwise having an absolute blast, and they're so enthralled and pleased to have you back that they actually fit you with a couple of casks of very fine cider that they've produced in this season, very high end, and a couple of skins of exquisite wine, even better than some of the best that you've had in Elventree. And they bestow this on you as their highest form of currency, as you understand.
Of course, yes.
For a struggling family. They thank you again, and of course you regale them with tales of the many exploits that you've had with your new friends in Hillsfar.
Perfect.
Anything else for you during downtime?
I believe that was everything. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Ranquess. Yeah. Come a little to the right.
Well, yeah, so I'm just like leaving
You
on the
guys
to
can slide
me.
this way a little.
Close.
If you slide the whole chair this way and bring your mic. Sorry, we're just relocating a little bit, guys. Just really quietly and move your mics as you need, and we'll go to Ranquess.
After the meeting, then I walk out and decide that I would like to celebrate the fact that I'm back in the Brotherhood of the Shadow Enclave. So using some of the items that I have, I seek out some craftsmen and find what it would cost me to be able to craft them into a staff that kind of brings my past, my present, and hopefully the future as a Shadow Loyalist into one item, to be able to basically actually have a connection to it rather than just giving it away like every quarterstaff that I found.
Right. Yes. He's been distributing quarterstaffs throughout the entirety of the Hillsfar region.
So once I find the cost, then I decide to sell some of the goods that we've found in our travels. And in selling some of the goods, then I came across a young woman who wished to buy the bracelets off of me for more gold than the vendor, and decided to be nice. And since it had a connection to family, he's got a soft spot for family, so he just gave them no charge. And
Aw.
she actually rewarded him with a confusing item. It's a onyx bracelet that has some strange markings on it. So he's grateful, but he just puts it in his bag, thinking nothing of it for now. And he gets the staff. He gets them to start crafting the staff. So basically, it's going to have the last giant jewel that was imprisoning whatever it was that we ran into down in the depths of Hillsfar. It's going to use that as a focus on the top. I've asked them to craft it out of black wood, I believe, and it's going to be a nice strong staff made out of wood, wrapping around a cylinder in the center, which is the cylinder that has the shadow. Shadow tube that has...
Shadow tube.
Yeah, that's just... It confused me, but I decided to use it. And inlaid in the actual staff is the Spork of Doom that still has like little bloodstains to it. So where the hand is, then that's actually inlaid right in there to remind me where I came from and why I started this whole journey.
Killed a lot of people with
Excellent.
So that is what I've been doing. And then any other downtime while they're crafting that has been spent just enjoying the freedom, enjoying being outside. Obviously, he has new love at the time, so he's been spending time with Ore.
Spring is in the air, even though it's fall, but it's fresh and new for Ranquess. And I love that you've brought these artifacts of your history into this, fashioning this tribute to who you are at this point in the story, and that's really great. So we'll that'll be coming to an Ask a DM as a viewer submission soon. So stay tuned on Wednesday, and we'll actually go through these items that the characters have, and we'll build stat blocks for them. So.
And the last thing that I want to do, because of being welcomed into the Harp as a Harper agent, if we so choose, as well as being welcomed back to the Shade Enclave, then I asked them to craft me a small brooch, basically to hold on, to pin on and hold my cloak together. And it's going to be the harp with the Harper symbol and all that. But in the background, it is the actual mountain range of Thultanthar.
Oh, fantastic! All right, they can
bring them
produce
both
that for you fairly quickly, certainly in the week. And what they would do is they fashion this brooch in a manner so that when the light hits it just right, it shows the faint etchings of the harp around them. As you know, through your induction into the halls of the harp, if you so choose to be endorsed as a Harper agent, they strongly encourage that you keep it tight-lipped, keep it under your hat. They don't advertise the fact because not everybody in the realms love the Harpers, but they give you that. And with it, of course, if you do take this offer, they'll also equip you with a Harper pin that's subtle enough to be hidden, but will identify you to other Harpers in the realm too. So. Ranquess taking them up on that opportunity. Chyna's already been inducted. At that note, before we jump to Merkesh, has anyone else taken them up on their offer to be inducted?
I think I would.
as a Harper agent. Fantastic. All right.
And that, using that word again, synergistic, is that synergistic also with Lurlin's round?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lyrlin and Drin are staunch allies to the Harpers, and the Harpers are the ones who leverage Lyrlin's network to help equip refugees inside
Perfect.
of Hillsfar. So
Yep, then I
think that
too will
makes
also take a pin.
a nice synergy there
Yeah.
to use that word. So we'll is that it for Ranquess's downtime?
That is
All right.
complete for Ranquess's
And that takes us to Ranquess. Or sorry, that takes us back to Ranquess. That takes us from
double
Ranquess
downtime.
to I have two staffs.
Merkesh, the
That
forgotten
takes us
warrior.
to Merkesh.
Aw.
I'm sorry.
Wait, he's a warrior?
I'll kill you.
Yes,
I'll kill
the
you,
party
and then
does
no one
have
has to
a
worry
fighter.
about it.
Thank you very much.
That's right. I'll pay for that in the
Even I
Saturday.
fall off a free
Merkesh spends his downtime with Amaryl, the bowyer Fletcher guy that was able to craft his incredible weapon, to craft a bow of my own. So we spend a lot of time him teaching me the art of bowyer fletchering and speaking into a microphone. And we fashioned the bow out of something called the heart core of Elventree. It's like this special wood that they're able to grow in Elventree. And I spent the better part of a week hunting with the scouts of Maliki to try and find an albino elk that I could get its albino elk mane to craft the bowstring for my bow. Beyond that, my week was mainly spent,
Those are
again,
endangered.
waking up at the crack of dawn to practice my martial forms, because that's what he does religiously, and trying to track down any information on this blacksmith that he gave his sword to that vanished. That seems to have been guiding his direction through direct intervention with other people. So
The puppet master.
I don't really know
don't
what's
like this
going on with
blacksmith.
that, but I'm really anxious to find out and stab. I mean, get to the bottom.
Interrogate and then
Get to the heart of the
him
issue.
intently.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
And also, Merkesh would decline the offer to join the Harpers.
Okay. Merkesh, staying a free agent at the moment, declines the offer from the Harpers. They're not offended by this, so obviously everybody, it's an open door. You'll always be a staunch ally of theirs, and you'll always be considered the hand of the harp and have the charge of Elventree and the abilities, accessibility that goes with it. In your time, you're not, strangely, you ask very pointed, very specific questions about Cleese Garn, the weaponsmith that you met at the trade landing, and there's absolutely no record of him anywhere in any registry. There's nobody seems to have encountered him in the waves of merchants who have come and gone during that time while the Trade Merchants Festival was happening. It doesn't quite deflate you. It just means that he either was a terrible businessman, although for claiming to be one of the realm's best weaponsmiths, it's odd that no one has managed to find them. And roll me a history check, please.
That's a natural 3.
Natural 3.
Merkesh is back. Everybody.
You keep going back to your
Season 2.
you keep going back to your conversation with Desandra, and at the very best, they wonder if there's any kind of connection between the trade merchants who had made their way through the South Garrison on their way to Elventree or not, but you can't really recall. The details are a little bit hazy. There was a lot going on. You were escaping an entire city-state. But otherwise, nothing else. Really cool
Spent like 3 hours
scenario with the,
just at the entrance where the merchants come in going, no!
the fashioning of the Mastercraft
Guys,
bow,
where's the
definitely an
confetti?
enriching
Yelling.
experience. It's helped you develop a bond with Amaryl and the merchants of Elventree. Amaryl also, of course, taking lead on the construction of your staff with the assistance of the Aquilar acolytes who helped design Fine's staff as well. So you've really kind of built those relationships with the crafts workers of Elventrees and the various guilds that are involved there. Even though they're few, the quality is incredible. The one benefit of downtime or of our hiatus is I had forgotten a lot about the hunt for the albino thread and all that stuff. So for me, it's like hearing it for the same time, the
Also,
first
I
time
got to
too.
spend some quality
That's pretty
time
cool.
with Constance, who is now one of Maliki's scouts.
Yes.
Aw.
Yes, and Constance was actually charged to help him scout the albino elk and help him recover
like
those
her.
materials.
She's
So.
nice. Also, we sort of destroyed her life, so you know.
Yeah, she was left with nothing. Presumably, that may have had
We
something
sort
to
of
do
went
with
But
it.
now she has happiness.
Yes, yeah. She's found a whole
Hooray.
new level of happy with the guidance and light of Maliki. the forest goddess.
Find out about what we've set loose in this.
So as the week begins to draw close to an end, it's relatively uneventful otherwise. Occasionally there have been red plumes that have sent contingents from the city scouring the woods. They haven't been too aggressive. The Aquilard, this is the citizens' militia of Elventree, do a fine job of keeping them in check when they're near the Elventree woods, with the exception of Faen's foray to Bea's farm and the Farborough farm to the southwest. Everyone's presumably stayed relatively close to Elventree, so you haven't had any run-ins with them yet. But the last you've heard, especially with the increased attention that this festival has been getting, they seem to have become a little bit more bold in traveling outside of the city. Beyond that, you don't hear much from your colleagues. Hillred does usher the message about the darkness that's been disturbed below Hillsfar to your allies. They're kind of in a holding pattern now. Jin of Earth and the other individuals, the people in Lyrlin's company, who have basically they're in a holding pattern, trying to determine whether or not they need to flee the city quickly if this escalates. The only thing of concern is that there seems to have been an increased occasion of odd sickness and disease that seems to be permeating the area.
Oh dear.
They attribute it though to soiled water and failed infrastructure. At least that's the best message that they're getting from the city. But it's difficult to tell how much merit there is to that, or whether it is actually fact until you hear firsthand from your associates in Hillsfar. And that's it.
What Collective
Over to
Soul
you.
told us back in the 90s. Until I hear it from you.
And in this particular day, the sun is high in the sky, and the sky is clear, not a trace of a cloud. It's a beautiful autumn day in this area in Hillsfar. The weather is still relatively crisp, but not too cold. Although Tamasin is still haunted by these pangs of frigid chills and yeah.
Bring
that
her
seem to
some
be
hot
fine.
toddies every time she feels
No,
shit.
no,
What?
I can't. No, I'm not consuming any more alcohol
No,
ever,
there's no
ever
alcohol
again.
in this. It's just like
I can taste it now.
So that concludes our downtime. What do you guys want to do?
I know.
Well, once we finally get back together, downtime being concluded, we need to reach a consensus on what exactly our next course of action
the festival.
Where is that?
There is okay, yeah, there's the festival.
The festival. Because it's very soon. It's the next thing. It's like the closest.
When is the festival, Chyna?
It's in what? Now what is it? Would it be like a few days?
It's in a couple of days.
It's in a
and
couple of days.
It's about a
and
2-day ride from
we
where
would
you
have
are.
to leave like
A
soon.
2-day ride to the where?
But Ulash,
I don't know
wonderful
where
city, lovely place.
Which
Lots about
direction?
it.
Which direction is Ulash?
Which direction is Ulash?
It's to the northwest.
Northwest.
It's about a 2-day ride northwest.
I'm good with going north, honestly.
And there's lots of other things. It's not just the singing competition. Like there's other things too for everyone to do. There's other things. Like I think maybe you can do a fighting competition, Merkesh.
Well,
Or
if
Tamasin,
unless-
there might be
What,
who's
good
the
at
best
heal
goddess? What maybe?
Marathon healing.
Well,
Well,
okay.
I
That's
know.
what you're trying to tell me with.
If you wish to go there, I would meet you there, but I wish to go to the farm to just get both Leon and Ore settled before.
Was that on the
The
way?
farm's on the way.
It's west. It is not north at all. So I would travel west, and then I would meet you there.
It's west. It's the Ulash
We could-
is.
we could detour?
If you look on your map really quickly.
Yes.
Here, I'll shoot you this real quick.
Elventree?
Ulash is there.
Yes.
The
West?
farm. This is actually ground. It's not water. It looks like water. So the road runs here through Hillsfar, which you can
Definitely
or
don't want to.
you can do or not do, depending on what you choose. If you were to skirt through the forest, you would hit the farm right there.
Okay.
Well, we can
then-
do that. We don't want to go through Hillsfar, and that's fine. Like we can. You want to help your lady
I just
friend,
want
and
to make sure they're
understand
safe and that we can.
yes.
I want to help just
One last bang.
clean up all the corpses,
Yeah. Oh, that too, of course.
help with the smell.
I mean, yeah. Like, understandable.
Prestidigitation.
Well,
Good luck with that prestidigitation spell.
Okay, so unless anyone's opposed, I think that's what we're gonna do.
No,
We're
no
gonna-
one's opposed.
No,
So we're gonna
I'd
we're
like
gonna
to
head
go
for the
north
farm.
anyways.
And
Oh, well,
then
excellent.
Once we've concluded business at
I
the
think
farm,
I want to go north.
we're gonna head on to Ulash,
Okay.
Great.
or south of Ulash, anyways.
Make a group strength group athletics check as you near the farm. About halfway through your first day, you manage to keep to the
Athletics. Oh,
Nicely done.
Jesus.
First natural 20. Over here.
18.
20.
7.
10.
Lucky.
Okay.
Well,
20. All right. So you actually, with the help of the team and the unity that you've created now, Ore acquaints herself with the structures in the farm. They're a little bit tired. They're going to need some work beyond what you can afford her now, at least physically, but she does have some capacity. You managed to reach out to the Lord's Alliance, who bestowed that deed on you and still owe you a favor. If you like, they can help her get situated and help just touch up the structures, make sure that they're structurally sound and that they're safe.
Make it a farm that's actually going to be
You
self-sustainable.
know, like a fixing
Yep.
spell.
Make it more
Can you
farm-like.
like fix
So, should we give
farm
her some money?
boards?
Can you prestidigitation on
I've
a
given
farm?
her some money. I've given her the 20 gold out of the stuff I had left in my own personal bank.
Oh, yes. Can you press the digitation?
And he also did an impressive job of forging the deed to now be in Ore's name. So she is, for all intents and purposes, the title holder for the land.
Wonderful.
And you notice as you return to the land now that the grass has begun to grow back, whereas before it was bare and dry and it was desecrated. So that seems to have fallen away as you dispose of the remaining carcasses
That means
that were there.
bad things here are gone.
And,
when the green grows, it's good.
With
Smells
this
a bit better now.
outstanding display of teamwork, you're able to do it before evening falls. So.
Wonderful.
Aw. It does.
we're the best.
I'm just painting plants.
As the sun vaults over
Chances
you
of your
into the
pieces.
sky, peering down through the thick overgrowth of the Cormanther Forest, it warms the air around you and leaves you with a fairly impressive job of cleaning and restructuring the area.
Teamwork.
And the Lord's Alliance presumably are on their way, which gives them a little bit of comfort. Leon nods at you and he says, well, dear friend, I guess this is where we part for a time.
For now. Thank you for your help.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for taking me. Thank you for rescuing me. And I promise you that I will die before any harm befalls our Ore.
Please don't die.
Well, I choose not to. I mean, I hope not to. Oh, God.
Try
Is
not
that...
to shit the bed this time, Leon. Let's go.
And remember,
won't.
it's his woman. Don't
Yes,
touch
of
her.
course. No, of course. And Ori just kind of winks at you as you go. And as you turn, she runs up, stops you, turns you around, and plants a big farewell kiss
Let's see it.
squarely on the lips. Off stream. And as you feel
Oh, sorry.
as you
I go 9 to you come 10?
I'm not coming up.
Oh, I do. I love songs.
As you
And he's turned red again,
Yes.
folks.
I'm actually glowing now. That's the most action I've seen all week. Only this half of the table heard that. So. Yeah, but as you make your leave takings from here, you tie off your affairs at the farmstead, and there's still some light of day left as you make your way back to the road, or back through the woodland. At this point, how are you traversing the rest of the ride to? And you're on foot, presumably, right?
Yeah, we didn't say
As
we were
usual.
fine.
On foot, but I think stick to the woods.
Yeah.
Stay off the roads.
So
As much as
when
possible.
night falls,
Yes.
we would set up camp somewhere in the woods where
Yeah.
we could find.
How close to nightfall was it when we were leaving? Because we could just rest at the farm.
It was about day. You arrived at the farm around midday, and you managed to finish the, we'll say, situating the farm early evening. So
How
our
many in
time
the
it would be
morning?
about 4:30.
So we
5
could
o'clock.
rest and then leave in the morning early.
When would that get us? Would we be late for the competition?
You'd have about a day left to get there before the festival starts.
So we have time
Yeah,
to
you have-
rest
yep.
at the farm and
Yep.
then keep
Yes.
Leave in the morning.
All right, we should stay here then. It's safer.
a
and
bit
then
safer.
One more night.
Yes.
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 Oh God. I'm
Should we
sleeping
give them
in
the
a-
whole farm? It might get noisy.
Can I just have a room that's far, far away?
We take this walk could be
Not
better.
only is it,
Excuse me.
are you guys tying off anything before you take a rest at the farm?
I don't think so.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Not only is it restful, pleasant, But by daylight in the early dawn, agents of the Lord's Alliance have already arrived. There is obviously some urgency behind your relationship there, and they've sent help as quickly as they could from their station in Hillsfar, and they've subtly made their way to you as they begin to set up and immediately start to plot out the land and draw schematics of how they plan to help. So.
We don't mean to brag, but we're kind of a big deal.
And that might be the first. That's the first 100 on a percentile die I think I've ever rolled. Too bad it wasn't a loot table.
Yeah.
Well.
All right. As dawn comes, you eat of your rations, presumably anything that you'd taken from Elventree. Chyna is like a kid on Christmas morning, and she's she's practically bouncing around.
So now I get that big kiss.
As you make a modest breakfast and begin to make your way back through
eat, I'm too
the
excited.
woodlands in the deep Cormithor forest. And you manage to make pretty good time through the foliage, through the brush. We can make a nature check with advantage if anyone is so inclined to help
Is
make a
anyone
speedy,
proficient
I am
in
not.
nature?
No.
I am not.
Who's high
speedy
intelligence?
traverse.
I'm +2 to intelligence.
I am
Go ahead.
+1 only.
With advantage. Wait, no, it's a check. We really want Tamasin rolling?
Show them up, Terrence.
Brett?
Yeah, those are both
By
shit.
the way.
Jesus.
I'm sorry? Are those both natural
Yeah,
ones?
one's a 7.
I gave it to
Which
Ore.
means it
No.
No, it's
Oh,
a 4
yeah.
and a
Yeah,
1.
hang
So
on.
just hang on to
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
it is. One's a 6
And there's
with
two
my
challenges left,
proficiency,
or one?
and the other's a 3.
Thank you, Tamasin.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Look, you.
Don't pick up any leaves.
Fortunately, it's uneventful, but otherwise, you're
God.
traveling fairly slowly. And China's starting to really feel the press of time now as the morning turns to late day turns to the afternoon. And as you crest through, as you stop to take a break, midway through, as the another clear day
I got my
is.
flask.
You with me? Another clear day is evolving over you. As you're sitting eating, Merkesh, your senses suddenly are piqued to moving in the brush close to the road. And you hear some voices talking. Roll a perception check for me, please.
That is a perception, which is 12.
That is the check I requested. A 12? Sure. Just seems like voices kind of making their way through the bush.
I burst out with a quick
What?
to the team, and make the hand motions that there's,
Oh.
down over there, and then listen. So everyone shuts the hell up.
Do any of us now hear the voices and recognize?
Everyone roll a perception check, actually. Let's do
Let's
let's
roll
do it
not
this
the
way.
dice I just rolled.
I love that I actually.
I'm
rolled
taking
my
your word
pass-
for it.
14.
Okay, so as Merkesh alerts you to the presence of something or someone drawing closer,
17.
17. You listen closely. Most of what you can hear is wind through the branches, the soft flowing through the trees, until Ranquess and Tamasin catch each other's eyes. And you realize that amidst the rushing and the wind sweeping up through the branches, you can also hear clinking of metal and the rustling of chainmail. And
Something.
and then you hear a high-pitched hissing voice. All right, split up. Go around. I definitely heard something over here. Let nothing through. If you find anything, bring them to me.
We should hide.
As they start to skirt,
I think they're flanking us.
and the voices begin to spread around you.
Can I cast a minor illusion of trees around?
It's only a 5x5 tree. Appears at your feet. It's like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree just appears at China's feet.
China's
I
just
think,
like,
I
up
think
this.
we could probably do it because you've got minor
Yes.
illusion, I've got minor
Yes.
illusion, Twain has
Yes.
minor illusion.
As do I, yeah.
Yes, we've done that before.
So all of us back to back to back and minor illusion trees around us
Yes.
just to make it.
Okay, let's do that.
That way we can see
Making
what's
a
coming
tree
towards
circle
us.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tree circle.
They see trees, but we see what's coming.
Okay.
All right.
Illusions,
Towards
are they
the,
one way?
Towards the
Illusions one way.
I
Can you
believe
see
so.
through an illusion?
Yeah. I
We're the one
believe so.
if you
we
can
cast-
detect it, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, so we can see.
You,
can see 'cause we
you
can
create a
detect-
small
we know
stand
it's
of
there.
trees,
Okay.
15 feet across, enough that you guys can see it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm asking if I can
Yeah.
see.
Oh yeah,
the
you can
illusion.
absolutely see it. As
We
far
know it's there.
as far as you guys can tell, it's a real tree, and you can match it to the trees that are surrounding you. So it just looks like a juvenile stand of trees in early bloom.
Yeah.
And you manage to kind of find some station behind them as the voices begin to fan out around you. You can pretty easily tell. You guys can tell that there are three distinctly different voices that you hear, and then you hear the telltale of the sword leaving its sheath. Roll a group stealth check for me, please.
Oh,
As you crouch
guys.
behind this illusory
Lucky you have a good bonus.
wall of young trees.
Oh, that's actually really good.
19.
19?
6.
You need an average.
13.
13? 12?
17.
And what was yours?
6.
6.
I rolled a 1.
19, 17, 17?
I said 12.
19, 17, 17, 12, 13?
13. Yeah.
That will do it. So, as you
all are so
silence down, Fine steps on a branch. Tamasin holds him. Reminds him that you can be seen. Holds him back a little bit. Holds him gingerly. No pun intended. as in the silence, as your breath catches, and the breeze continues through the tree. Now the only sounds being the natural sounds of the forest and the rustling of chainmail, a long sword leaving its sheath. You begin to see a glint of metal out of the corner of your eyes, and encroaching around the sides of the illusion, you see the unmistakable plumage of red feathers vaulting off this gleaming plate helm as two well-armed soldiers begin to crest around the camp, and they're starting to breach the edge of your illusion.
I'm gonna jump the one on the left.
Surprise round.
I'll hit the right.
Like I'm going to literally jump on the one on the left.
Gonna grapple it? Like you're just gonna leap on
So
it.
you're
no,
positioning your-
grapples athletics. No, I'm going to attack the one on the left.
So you're positioning yourself to attack?
Yeah.
Well then, let's roll initiative.
I just want to get to the festival.
I just want to go to the festival.
The minute I said it, I wanted to go to the festival.
Oh, not
Now I roll a 20.
18.
We do have inspiration.
Well, theater of the mind. This.
Yay, that was
Yeah. I'm using
don't.
So let's get our
I'm
tokens
using
in the
Oh, wait,
center.
yes, I do. I do have
Fine, you are the mover of things. If you guys can equip
That's right,
Fine
I
with
turned
these
2 into
guys.
Yeah.
a 20.
I totally have it.
Okay, so
And
I
here
get
are the
that you rolled a
baddies.
2, and then you used your inspiration to reroll your initiative? You're crazy.
Okay.
Nope.
I imagine it's something like
I mean, you go first, but you're crazy.
Yeah. Perfect.
So 20.
And
you
they
got
are
plus one
flanking
or
you
what?
on these two sides here.
I think I'm plus
as
one,
they
yeah.
encroach the
Yeah,
illusion
plus
in the
one.
center. And Merkesh and Fine, you guys are presumably taking flank positions here, getting ready to strike.
I am that one.
yes. And this. Oh yes.
Face me
yeah,
in the
I would be
opposite
at the back.
direction, please.
I will be in the middle.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Chyna.
Oh, 17.
17 for Chyna.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Tamasin.
18.
Ooh,
Ooh.
nice.
Baller rolls. Fine.
23.
Ooh.
High roll
My.
initiative.
Oh my. Look at you guys.
21.
Wow, it's the
Jeez, you
highest
guys.
initiative we've ever had. You rerolled it.
11.
I did. I
And
used my
11.
inspiration to re-roll my initiative because I didn't
And
want
the
a 2.
Merkesh.
I can't
gonna
I'm
go,
second
guys.
last with the
Used his
17.
inspiration.
As you guys as you guys crouch low and begin to jump your assailants, they are taken completely by surprise, which will give you guys the first action goes to Fine. First up in initiative. Merkesh, as you're waiting for Fine's cue, and it's kind of like go like on 3 or 3 go. What is I don't know, you're kind of, and then he's gone. So Fine, lead us into combat.
Fantastic. So I spring out to this one here.
Oh, and then you die.
I follow
No,
my
he's
face.
using capoeira this time.
Oh.
Right, yeah. Full on, yeah. So thrust forward with Faerun's memory.
Okay.
What is that?
Just enjoyed that.
Well, I need a little bit more practice. I rolled a 1, so that one missed.
12? It does.
Yes.
It does.
No, rolled a 1, so so that's 8 to hit. Yeah.
Yes. No, not
Yeah.
hit.
Very well. And then I will spin
Fails
around with a
beautifully.
backhand fist.
It's a glorious failure.
A flurry of blows, one might call it. And misses with both. Yes. Ha ha!
All right, if you say so.
Dazzled by my prowess.
As you land solid blows, but they are just like pummeling into this gleaming solid plate mail of this knight. As he looks up with you and kind of shrugs off the blow with his greatsword in hand, and that takes us to Ranquess.
I am going to aim at the opposite one from the one Faerun just went towards.
Okay.
And I am going to use my circlet on my head and cast its Scorching Ray.
Okay.
So I'm going to hurl three things at that one target. Just going to do all 3 rolls at once.
Okay.
All right. So that is a 14, that is a 17, and I'd like to use Tides of Chaos to get advantage on one of the rays, and that is a natural 20.
Okay. The natural 20 connects. As the three focused
two don't,
flaming
so-
beams blast into the
14 to
chest
17
plate,
don't,
pushing
so he's
this
wearing
great
plate.
knight backwards. But one seems to be even really scorching and overheating his plate. It glows red as he shrieks in agony. And go ahead and roll your damage for your crit.
All right, so 4d6.
Yeah, you can do it.
All right, that is 16 points of fiery damage.
16, all right.
Scorching Ray only does 2d6?
Yeah, per one that hits. But he said the natural 20 was the
And
one
that'll
that
bring
hit,
us
so he's
to
wearing plate.
Tamasin.
I'm going to cast a
Now we
guiding
know.
bolt at the same one that Ranquess just scorched.
Okay.
So that guy. The one who's
Guiding
closest to
bolt.
me. Guiding bolt. It's just a spell attack.
And that's an attack roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
17.
17 is your guiding bolt flares up around him, but he shakes it off, and you see the eyes peering through
really
behind this,
annoying.
like the gate of his helm, his gleaming plate helm, and that will take us to Chyna.
All right. I can
have to hit 'em
see
hard.
both of these. Yes, both of these guys.
Yes,
Great. So I'm going to cast Bane
Bane.
at
Okay.
first level. Yes. On them,
Who's the
so they
third
have
guy?
to make charisma
three
saving
voices.
throws.
Yeah,
Charisma
there's a
saving
third
throws?
one
Yes.
somewhere.
Okay.
But we don't.
And what's your DC?
12.
12. First one fails. The second one succeeds.
All right. So the one who failed.
Fail. Success.
Which one failed? Sorry, I missed
This
that.
one. This
The one by
failed.
Faerun.
Yeah.
All right. So now, whenever he makes an attack roll, he has to roll a d4 and subtract that number from the attack.
Okay.
I
You can remember that,
remember that.
And remind me if I forget.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I can roll it.
All right, fair enough. And then, as you're tangling with the knights and everybody's kind of making their way through this beautifully executed surprise, assisted by your illusion,
Wait.
in the
That's a
midst,
surprise round.
what?
Am I allowed to cast a cantrip as a?
If it's a bonus action casting time.
I'm not sure.
There aren't many bonus
No,
actions.
then okay.
What's the cantrip?
True strike?
True strike? I don't believe so, but let's find out. True strike, right?
Yes.
It is one action, so you won't
Okay.
be able
All
to
right.
do
That's
that.
fine.
Do you hear a this like concussive blow emanates outward as can you give me that block, that dice? Okay.
This?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Why?
As in the air, in the middle, if you can put this
She's
down for me.
hovering.
Oh, sorry.
Why is she hovering?
Hovering about 10 feet in the air.
Floating mage.
This way?
Yep, appears, she's about 2 more blocks backwards. There you go. This billowing mage enrobed in flowing red appears, floating about 10 feet above. Her eyes turn to fire, which belies the icy sheets that burst forward as the group in the center is encased in howling, frigid winds as
Oh,
ice
that's freaking
crystals
cold.
appear in the sky, whipping around you, and hail begins to pound,
Ow, why? No, stop my instruments!
spitting earth and dirt up
I need this.
into the air. And I will need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh yes, I'm so good at those. Yeah, that's actually not the
I
best.
actually did that one.
That's
21.
a 17. That never happens.
18.
That die, man.
Okay, 18.
It's a joke. Natural 20
No, it's been pretty good.
I don't. have
Sorry, DC 13. So
Yeah,
tell me.
17.
pass.
Pass.
I was a 17.
Pass.
I was outside the AoE.
Rankus?
Fail.
What?
Fail.
Failed. And Merkesh.
Pass.
Pass.
21.
Okay, good stuff. So those of you who passed,
I'm still taking damage.
2d8 bludgeoning.
If this is what I think this is.
All right, you all take. Okay. 11 and 11 bludgeoning damage and 8 cold damage for a fail.
Oh my god, that. Wait, he's
19 damage in total for the fail.
Oh my god,
And if you save half of that.
So.
Rounded down, 10.
Rounded
Literally
down,
can't
so
take magic
9.
math right now.
9. 9 damage for the saves.
9 damage
7
for the
for me.
save?
What?
I'm resistant to cold damage.
Resistant to cold damage. Remind me how.
I believe Faerun
You
as
have,
well. Faerun and him have the rings I gave them.
I have Ring of Warmth.
Oh, that's right. Their Ring of Warmth. Right. I
Yes.
was thinking it was fire
Sorry,
damage.
so if we
Oh,
save,
nice.
Yes.
we take
Sorry.
9?
So
Yeah.
it's halved again. It's halved again.
Well, I take the full bludgeoning damage.
Oh, right,
and
right.
the
11.
damage
Yeah,
is
you're right. You got it.
seven.
Okay.
So
Good.
9.
Good science.
So Faerun, you only took
Good
7 as
sciencing
well.
the math.
Actually, I was outside.
Oh, you're outside of it.
DM
Okay.
powers,
Yeah.
buddy.
DM powers. You got it.
You're welcome.
What, the ring? Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and the 20 foot, a 20 by 20 foot.
Brandon must be close too, because he's.
Yeah, that must
Wait a
have hurt
second.
him.
I
It's
thought
a
so,
20
because
foot
I knew you
radius.
and I had that shitty.
Sorry, guys. It's a 20 foot radius. It's gonna hit all of you.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
so
So roll up fine.
Dex
And Dex guard,
check,
yeah.
right?
a
No, she's gonna pull it
dexterity
right
saving
back
throw.
here.
Oh, I passed. yeah.
Dexterity saving throw.
I passed.
Pass. So you take.
Nine.
7.
7.
No,
Because I
Seven
also-
for him.
Oh, no, you're resistant
I'm
to
also,
spell.
yes.
He has the other ring.
Okay.
It was 9.
Y'all
Yeah,
my
9
bitches.
damage. Sorry, it's
no,
9
but he
damage.
said he's resistant.
Oh yes, yes,
It's
7
there's
because you're in the
2
same ring.
rings
Yeah.
of warmth.
All right, everyone's sufficiently damaged, and that'll take
Yeah.
us to Merkesh.
The ground around us that just got frozen.
Yes.
Is it difficult
It,
terrain?
it overcomes. It's overgrown with ice, making it slippery and very
I'm
difficult
falling
to
my
traverse.
face
Yes.
7 times now. So screwed.
Okay, so clearly I'm going to engage the guy closest to me. So I'm going to move the 5 feet closer to him
Okay.
that I need to be, and then I'm going to attack him.
Okay. That's
Do I
10
need
as
to-
far as movement purposes. Go ahead and
Okay,
make your
perfect.
attack.
All right, so we're gonna go with the main hand rapier stabbing attack, and that is a 15, which I'm going to use my luck on.
Okay.
Luck point. And that is a 15. That's a good use of luck.
So your first strike misses.
Well done.
And then the offhand attack with the short sword is a 14 and also misses.
It does.
We're doing well so far, I think.
And that brings us to the top of regular initiative with Fine.
Very well.
Fighting a guy in place.
So, to...
And Ranquess is on deck.
Do I... what is this figure wearing? Anything particular? Just robes?
Red robes.
Red robes.
Yeah, like a red
okay.
wizard would wear.
Like a red wizard. Okay,
Like
well,
one of those?
I will attempt to then cast darkness centered on any sort of... Can I... No?
Darkness?
Yes, it's what I don't know. I'm like, I need some...
What's it
you know
called?
what? It's going to be silence, actually. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah, it worked for me the last time. So I'm going to cast...
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
On her?
We'll allow it. No table talk.
That Are we outside that? Are we
A fine
outside
line
that
between
bubble?
table talking and learning. So
This is true.
we'll allow it. Go ahead.
Wait.
Are we outside that?
No, wait.
Before
If
you do
you're-
that, are we
before
outside
you
that
do
bubble?
You're
that,
outside
because-
of it.
Are
We're
we
outside it. We're
of
outside
It's executed. It was.
No, are we outside of it or not? Because we can't cast spells then if we're inside it.
I
You're
feel...
casting.
casting
What's
it
your
on
target?
them.
the target is...
Fine's turn.
Yes, I'm
Wait,
targeting
she
that
can't
character.
hear anything either then.
So you cast. You choose your target.
Ryan! You've messed up everything!
It hasn't happened yet. You don't know what's happening.
we have 2 other targets that can hear.
No, but this spell was for her bitch.
20-foot radius sphere.
Which you can do once we hit her and it drops.
Although, what are you casting it on?
Right, that's why I wanted to know what she's wearing. Like if there's a clasp, I want it to be
So it's centered on a point.
centered on her.
Centered on a point you choose within range. So you're gonna center it on her.
Yes.
Okay.
What's that?
Centered on where she is hovering in the air. So
No,
it's a sphere
on
that
her. I don't want to like. It's not in space.
I don't know
right?
if you can
It's on
target a creature or object with it. It doesn't look like
that.
that.
I'm not.
It just says on a point.
Move an object with it?
Nope.
Oh, it's on a point in space. Okay.
It says
Yeah.
a point. Yeah.
Oh.
It says on a point you choose within range.
So pick your spot, bro.
You know what then? Okay, I'm not ready for that. Then, can I? How would I go about just
I will
releasing
allow you
that?
this one,
Okay.
otherwise the spell is
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree.
But go ahead. You can
So
retract
then,
it
in
if
that
you want.
case, I'll continue with the character I am attacking now.
Okay.
So after swinging 3 times and missing, I'm going to attempt it again.
Three. Oh, that was a surprise round.
yeah.
That's right.
So I miss with my quarterstaff.
And then she surprised us.
First attack, flurry of blow. Swinging
Big
nothing.
miss. So
We're
Fine
all
is
just
still
playing.
wailing. You're pummeling this
Yeah.
guy, buddy. It's
We
just
had
like
Fucking
Two
illusion.
weeks
your
of
knuckles are
downtime, we're all completely
beginning to
out of practice.
split, and you're actually leaving streaks of blood on his otherwise gleaming plate, taking us to Ranquess.
I am going to drink the greater heal potion that I have, so that is
Okay.
44 plus 4.
Okay.
So 13.
Okay.
And then I am going to bonus action healing word. It's
Okay.
bonus action, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Healing word. Remind me again. 2d4. 2d4 plus
1d4.
1d4.
Plus your spell modifier.
2. Oh,
1d4
that's good.
plus 5.
That's good. And that is max, so I get another 9. So I am back up to full health.
Movement.
And yes, I am going to move out of the rough terrain area.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to move over towards myself.
Okay. So you
Gotcha.
got.
Yeah, you can reach between.
So you got about
that's-
three
that's
blocks.
10,
Yeah.
Yep,
That's 20.
yep,
That's 30.
yep.
Okay. And next turn you'll be effectively out of the out of range.
That
Did you want to
is
face any particular direction?
the guy with plate.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you part
Okay.
with the team.
And that will take us to Uno, who finally has a chance to retaliate against Fine.
Okay.
I'm just gesturing wildly in front of
It's
him.
Bane on
Jeez.
him,
Yeah.
right?
No,
So
it's
it's-
because that's Rolf's.
Every time he attacks, it's minus D4.
I got
Let me see if it's on his attack.
He missed the first one anyway.
All right.
His first Fine, you duck just low as his greatsword cleaves, almost splitting the air just above you. But he spins around and continues with an 11, which I imagine doesn't hit you
That
either.
is not, no.
And you just dodge again, missing, negating his attack. Tamasin, your turn. And Chyna's on deck.
I'm going to draw my shield.
Okay.
So I've got it up, and I'm going to cast a 2nd level guiding bolt at the mage behind us.
At the mage?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Chiquita. Banana. 18.
18 is a hit.
Haha! Take some damage, bitch!
13.
No.
Oh.
There's one more. 19.
19 damage.
Yeah.
Ooh, jeez. What was it? What was the total damage? Sorry,
19.
19.
Oh yeah, and now whoever hits her next.
And your guiding bolt flies through the air, slams into her, encasing her in this radiant light. And she looks and she swats, and you see her kind of lose her concentration as she drops to the ground.
Knocked you down.
Oh my god. Take another 5 and falling prone. As she falls to the ground in 3-point, but she slips and falls forward, and she looks up at you, glaring and
did.
snarling.
Good job. That was excellent.
I mean, she's probably gonna kill me now,
Emerson's
but
all about knocking things out of the sky.
Okay,
If they're
Chyna.
flying, I can
What's
kill
up?
them.
What's good?
Well, while she's down, might as well hit her while she's down. So I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers at a 2nd level,
Okay.
and she has to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Is that a... Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Wisdom saving throw.
Who are you casting a what?
And I will need one more
Dissonant Whispers on the
d6.
thing.
She saves.
All right, so it's half damage.
Okay.
14, so it's 7.
Okay. 7 damage.
Bitch.
As her glares and snarling focus towards Tamasin's turn to screams of agony, she holds her hands to her ears, trying to force your voice out of her head. And that will take us to her turn. As she rises to her feet, her billowing robes now soaked with her own blood, but she stutters. Her ankle seems to have been rolled, but she looks at you. She
At who?
She looks at you, Chyna.
Oh, me.
And she pulls her hand over her front. You see a white shimmer adding to the guiding bolt and just encasing her in this shimmering shield. And that takes us to... Actually...
So she made eye contact with me and then shielded herself. I'm not really into that.
And
Weird.
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. And she'll sit tight. That'll take us to night number 2. Seeing Merkesh as the most readily available target, swings his mighty great sword towards you for an 11.
11 does not hit.
Comes back with another attack for a 14.
14 does.
Sorry, it's not. It's a 13.
13 does not hit.
Okay.
No one can hit
Oh,
anything.
and I have the Bane anyway,
on,
so that's
on
all.
the second attack that he missed, I'd
Yep.
like to spend one of my superiority die to riposte
Okay.
and give myself an attack
Sounds good.
opportunity. And roll a 16 plus 5 is a 21.
21 is a hit.
And I do max damage, which is 11 points of piercing damage.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right.
And I will mark off that superiority die.
As you turn his blade aside and come around with an attack your own, cutting deep into his side as he reels back from you and just kind of looks surprised. He totally wasn't expecting you to come back at him with that level of speed and agility. And that will take us to Merkesh. In fact, your turn.
You think me rogue?
Oh, I'm... Yes, sorry. Go ahead. It is your turn.
I'm
No,
gonna
wait.
Go,
Yes, it
I'm
is.
going to go at him again with
Okay.
the same exact combo. Main
Okay.
hand, offhand.
Advantage, too.
Why do I have advantage?
He was marked, wasn't he?
No, the
No.
other one.
Oh, is the other one
I
smart?
marked her.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
the mage.
Chiquita
is-
banana.
I was
Main hand
confused.
is a miss, and I'm going to roll in the blocks for the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the second one is a miss. as
Also
well.
a miss. Okay.
Like,
As you whiff
that's
now,
an
he's
actual
kind of
attack.
he's reoriented his footing and he's now anticipating your blows as he turns them aside with his greatsword on his own. And that will take us to Faerun back at the top of initiative. Ranquess is on deck.
Very well. So since I can't seem to hit this guy, you know what? Third time's the charm.
Go hit him. I believe in you.
Yes. This time I won't use any chi points for further blows. Maybe that's yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Wait, don't look at me.
let's see. On the quarterstaff, that's 24 to hit.
That's a hit.
Yes.
If I knew
Wham
we were
bam.
gonna try
1d8
this.
Yeah, we did.
for 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then
11
I wave
points?
my
Yep.
hand in front of his face.
Okay.
I don't
And
say that. Ha ha.
sounds like a miss for the unarmed.
That's
I mean, I
correct.
don't-
As he
haha.
dodges
Yeah.
back and just is caught a little bit off guard, but you miss him on your second attack, and that takes us to Ranquess.
All right. Hearing the chick fall out of the sky and start getting angry, then I turn around and
Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting to do my movement. Sorry, I'm just going to
Excuse me.
back a little bit.
And you're mobile, so no opportunities.
Correct.
From your target, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
All right, so I turn around after I hear Chicky fall from the sky and land, and then start getting angry while she's getting up, and I decide to throw a twinned firebolt at her
Okay.
with advantage.
Twin has to be 2 separate targets, though. Twin has to be 2 separate
Oh, it has to be
targets.
2.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm not throwing twin firebolt at her. I will.
Throw one at advantage and totally shoot the bed anyway.
No, 'cause that changes the damage that I'm going to do. even with advantage, I don't want to. I'm trying to just take her down because I don't want to get one shot. So that changes it. If I can't do both at her, I'm just going to do a magic missile at her.
Okay.
So I'm going to burn a second level spell slot and do 44 plus 4. 4, 5, 6.
As the missiles come at her, she looks and she grins and she waves her hand as well as an opalescent blue shield formulates and absorbs the magic
That's
from
what
your
that
from your
literally
magic missile and dissipates.
that she put up.
I hate when they do that.
And she just she rights herself, rolls her shoulders, and cracks her neck. And night number 1. Any movement?
I don't know how to get through one of those.
Yes, I will move. You said I was 1 block more from getting out, right?
Yeah, so that's
I'm
10
out.
and you're out. Yeah.
Okay, so 10, 15.
Oh, I just moved into 10.
I can get there.
Not now.
Yeah, but you're moving
All right, that's the end of your turn, Ranquess.
That is the end of my turn.
I'll take us to night 1. Night 1 is going to
Get insulted by Merkesh.
yell. He's going to yell a command at night 2 over here, and he's say, "Focus up! Bring him down! I need your help!" And then he's going to run towards Faerun for 5 and 15 into the difficult terrain, and he's going to raise his greatsword high above his head towards Faerun with a 19.
That hits.
Red plumes are cowards.
For 12 damage.
He's not lying.
And then he turns to Chyna, standing next to you, and cleaves to the right.
Wait. No. He has Bane. Did
Yeah.
you -4
Oh, which I
on
didn't
those
remind.
attacks?
And whose job is it to remind me of that?
I was reading the spell.
So it was a
I
minus
didn't know.
1. It was a -1. He still hit. He still hit on his first one.
Yeah.
So his second one comes through to you, Chyna. And he rolls a 22. And I'm guessing that an 18 would still hit you? Okay. 8 damage to Chyna.
Oh, ouch.
As
Ouch,
he's
you
now
guys.
in the fray, and he's swinging wildly with this massive gleaming greatsword, cutting through the swaths of your companions. But Tamasin gets a turn to act, and Chyna's on deck. Go ahead, Tamasin.
Can I intuit anything about the nature of her shield?
What's that?
Can I intuit anything about her shield, like how we can get through it?
I'll let you use a bonus action to make an Arcana check.
14.
She seems to be shrugging off most things. She definitely seems a little bit more confident. That's about the best you can discern.
Perfect. I love when they're more confident. Not really at all.
But she's still glowing because she hasn't taken any attacks from your.
Yeah, no.
She's still glowing with the light of saloon around her, now in this mixture of strange luminescence that's swirling around her.
Alright, I'm going to hit her with a second level guiding bolt. I'll try. Anyway.
You can certainly try. Go ahead.
The second guiding bolt is made at advantage because the magic missiles was not an attack roll.
That's right.
Yeah. Alright. Okay, everybody.
So guiding bolt with advantage, level 2.
Yes, out of advantage, that would be a 23.
That is a hit.
And that is a 5d6.
Despite her
May I
arcane
please have
protection,
one more?
Saloon's
Yes.
guiding light seems to penetrate without too much difficulty.
Ooh.
1, 2, 8, 14, 19 again.
As Saloon's light penetrates her, in the fire in her eyes dies out and goes to a dull, lifeless nothing. She wails in agony, but her wail is cut short. Ah! She falls to her knees, face first, and
so
all light
powerful.
dissipates around
No,
her,
not
leaving smoldering tendrils of white light rising from the scorched earth.
I
And that will
killed
take us to
that
Chyna.
bitch. She did.
Nice.
Oh.
The knights look to one another,
Like
and,
air
and
high
the
five
first
Ranquess.
knight yells, "Stay strong! Take them down!"
Well.
Wait, you killed the wizard?
Yeah, she did.
did.
Yeah, she killed her.
I killed her.
Okay, I figured we'd take some.
Healing potion. If I take one, I have one
Well,
left.
she's
an action, yeah.
problematic.
I'm
We
going
can
to
take
do
one of
that.
them
Okay.
alive.
Yeah.
Take a healing potion.
How many? What is it?
What is it? Regular
It
or
says
greater?
healing potion.
From where?
No, like she's dead.
It was one of the ones we
She's
took.
out.
I don't
I mean,
remember.
we might
It
be.
was one of
Okay,
the
if you don't
ones
remember,
from
it's
the-
2d4
it was
plus
You can't
2.
pull punches with a spell.
Spare the dying.
It was some of the ones we got when we were.
Isn't she Ash?
Should maybe try to not kill one of her companions?
Sorry, when the mage was
4,
killed, was
5,
the mage
6,
reduced
7.
to ashes?
11.
She's just dead.
Okay.
So like I could revive her
Okay.
if I wanted to.
If you wanted to.
If not like right now. But
11.
also
11?
communicate
I
these
back up
plans
to
to me before I annihilate
back up
them.
to 11.
What?
Back up to 11.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You're all about
You would have to.
That's my jam.
You'd have to resurrect her though. She's not like
I've been hanging around you for
my
a
enemies
really long
don't make
time
death
now.
saves. This would be a nightmare.
And if I move, he gets an attack of opportunity. Yes.
Yes, he does.
Yep.
Unless you use an action to disengage.
She used an
No,
action
I
to
used an
pop a
action
healing
to take
potion.
healing potion because I was gonna die.
Any other action? You want to risk
No,
chance
I-
the movement? You okay?
That's
All right. You're dancing in front of him, tauntingly dancing before his very eyes, and that will take us to
like me.
night number 2. Acknowledges the command from his seeming leader and turns his attention to Merkesh.
I am dead last.
You are, yeah.
I
yeah.
like them no boobs.
And it's an 11.
11 does not.
He's going to add 4. That's a 15.
Why is he adding before?
But for Bane, he's going to subtract 4, which negates. Because his
friend
his leader is giving him leadership bonus.
Ah, excellent. That was his first attack. What about a second one?
The second one
Wait, no,
comes
I'm
back
gonna be
around.
honest. You're supposed to roll
It's
a
off the thing.
d4, not just take. Oh, you did.
14,
okay.
19.
I was
19 to
thinking-
hit.
I thought he was just
19
taking
absolutely
it
hits.
19 hits you for
after.
10 damage.
I'm going to
Like next
parry
time.
Okay.
8 of that damage.
All right. 2 damage in total. And that takes us to Merkesh.
Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I did last time.
Mhm.
This time I'm going to hit him.
Okay.
That's the rapier, and that's a 9. We're going to use luck.
Okay.
That is a 22.
That's a hit.
And that's another luck point marked off.
You managed to shift your trajectory just enough to
And
cut
that
deep
is
below the
10
metal
points
plate.
of piercing damage with the
10
rapier.
points. Okay.
And then the offhand attack is a 17. Yeah, 17.
17. That is a miss, unfortunately. Any movement?
Oh no, I'm
Aw,
happily, like,
you're no
ready to
fun.
dance this guy to death.
All right, fine. Back to the
That's
top of
what I'm
initiative.
Fantastic.
trying.
Ranquess on
Alright.
deck.
So I'm gonna just do the quarterstaff.
The old flying combo.
Yes.
And you're counting in your +2 on that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. And you're still missing.
I know, right? Okay, so for my quarterstaff, that's a dirty 20 to hit.
Okay, that's a hit.
That's 1d8 plus 5.
I shouldn't have opened my stupid mouth.
So that's 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Oh, nice. And
Trying to
for
remember how many
my
spells
unarmed
I have.
strike, it's a natural 20. So that's 2d4
Okay.
I have
damage.
2 level 2 slots and 2 level
3, 5 plus 3, 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's your
I have
unarmed
3 and
follow-up?
4.
I'm sorry?
That's your unarmed follow-up?
That's correct,
Did
yes.
you flurry?
Not on that one, no.
Okay, it's 2d4?
Because it was critical.
Oh, you rolled a 20?
Yes.
I thought you said it was a dirty 20.
The first was the
You rolled a
quarterstaff
20?
was
Another crit?
Yeah, yeah.
You rolled a crit on your unarmed?
Yeah.
Well, that was like a really tame crit. Why did you? You're supposed to yell or something. All right, so now I got so excited I totally forgot your damage.
No worries. It was, I believe it was 8.
8? Okay.
Yes.
All right, gotcha.
Didn't-
And now for movement, I'm just going to
No, I've done 1 level 1 guided walk.
back
Using your
up a bit.
mobility,
Yes.
you move deftly away, launching a couple of quick strikes and moving in the same fluid motion, and that takes us to Ranquess.
Now I'm going to do the twin spell firebolt and try and hit both of them.
Okay.
So it's just 1 attack roll, right?
All right.
Not gonna hit. That is an 8.
It's an 8 as the 2 firebolts
I already
launch
used
into the
Tide's
night air, but they just manage to glance off the steel armor of the 2 knights that are bearing down on you, and that will take us to number 1, who is not. He's not gonna let Fine get away. He's gonna put himself right in the middle of this fray here, and he's gonna continue his assault.
Does he
on
get it?
Fine.
Does Jaina get an
No,
opportunity?
because
of
he's still
attack?
in
He's
melee
still-
range.
still in.
Threat area.
Yeah, so he's staying within.
okay.
Now he's just like he's opting to get into right into the mix, and that's a 9 and a 13.
Miss and miss.
Okay, so we don't need Bane if I miss all by myself. All right, as he's now enraged, he's not thinking clearly, and his greatsword is just swinging in wide arcs, causing you guys to take notice of this now a human blender that's in your midst, and that takes us to Tamasin.
Seems like that one's in charge. Take him alive.
That one's in charge. I thought the other one was giving him orders.
The one that Faerun's fighting is the commander.
Oh. I had that completely backwards.
Mm-hmm.
All
yeah,
right.
that's because I'm a tactical fighting type guy.
And that's about all the conversation you have time
Anyway,
for.
I'm going to turn around and I'm going to Sacred Flame him. Sacred
All right.
Flame.
Sacred
It's
Flame.
a deck save.
And it's a deck save, right? Gotcha.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
I'm
Yes,
pretty sure he saves
It's also
16.
on saving throws. He has to take
Oh, is
4
he?
off.
Is it
Yes,
really? Oh,
is.
Bane, yes it is.
In which case, he
What's
does
your
not.
DC?
14.
And he just rolled a 14 with Bane.
Oh.
Almost, though.
I thought
Almost.
I'd like,
And that just negates it, right? As it
Yeah.
fizzles into the air, and you've caught his attention now.
Oh, good.
And that takes us to China.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to
Little girl.
stab him with my rapier.
Okay, make an attempt.
I'm going to rape
Gotta hit him first.
I know I do. Oh, it's gone. oh, it's a 14.
Okay. Any bonus action?
Oh,
It's very dramatic.
Yeah, I'll dagger him.
Okay.
Yes.
Bring on the dagger.
Nope, I will not.
Definitely miss. All right.
I will absolutely not dagger him.
Night number 2, bearing down on Merkesh, determined to
music.
he's determined to end Merkesh, and
She calls this move the French
and he
tickler.
turns
Yes.
he turns to his counterpart and he says, "We must take them down, or you will pay." And he turns his assault back to Merkesh for a 12.
12 does not hit.
Still pretty sure Merkesh is fighting the leader.
And with that miss. Sorry, what's the second attack?
14
I'm a tactical
14
fighter.
would hit.
He's wrong.
would hit.
Yeah.
Did you want
Well,
to?
with the first attack you missed, I'm going to riposte.
You gonna riposte? Okay, go for it.
So my riposte attack
I mean, like, by
is a
one
natural
point.
20.
Okay.
So that's 2d8.
Will I get to
12
roll
plus 3,
damage?
15 points of damage with my riposte. And then your second attack hits you.
Brings him down to 0 hit points.
I got him?
Does not get the second
I
attack.
got him?
Yes, as he raises a mighty blow just to follow up,
Which
but
one
you're
of these
too
am
quick
I reviving?
as your rapier, you duck low, up with your rapier through the chest, and remove it as he falls. Blood seeping from his mouth as he falls forward in the dirt, slick with his own blood, and that takes us to. It's now your turn, actually,
Okay. This
and you have
guy felled.
one superiority, right?
One superiority die and one luck point left. That guy felled.
Mm-hmm.
I then immediately rushed to Tamasin. I mean, everyone's aid.
I mean, everyone.
I
Everyone.
run over there.
Well
and
played.
Engage this guy.
Okay,
I'm like, I am fully holding
make an
my
attack.
Like,
So-
she's fine. I am not
Rapier
okay.
is
Really
a
okay.
12, and the short sword is a 24.
I appreciate your consent.
So the short sword
The short sword hits.
for 7 points of damage, piercing.
Okay,
To the back. Because that's how honorable fighters get down.
obviously. 7, you said, right?
Yeah.
Why is my mouse stuck there? Okay.
Always.
All right. And that will bring us to the top of the round with Faerun.
All right.
Nice assist on that one.
I will strike with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
And that is a 25. Wait,
Oh.
23 to hit.
That's a hit. Quarterstaff whirs in the air and crack
Right, yeah.
down hard.
Of course, I agree. I'm aiming for death. I'm just aiming for to subdue.
Sure. Okay.
Right. 3 plus. So for 8
Why?
points of bludgeoning damage.
8 points.
Yes.
Kill him.
And I will say yield.
Bonus action, intimidation.
Okay. And you command him to yield. Ranquess, your turn.
While everyone's over there and concentrating on trying to knock him out and not
with
kill
blood.
him, I'm not going to cast a spell and try and kill him because then the party would be pissed at me.
I wouldn't.
Again. So
You can kill
I'm
him.
just, while they're not paying attention, I'm just pulling out my little wand tool thing and using one of its charges to see if there's any magical items around here.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for me.
What are you doing? Kill him.
Investigation, so that is
Just
still
need to
just
knock this
8.
one unconscious.
Okay. From what you can tell as you scan with the lens of the detect magic wand, nothing seems to be illuminating that's not equipped by one of your friends. The knight now looks at you and he's swinging his sword wildly, trying to keep all of you at bay. He looks at Fawn as he commands him to yield and make an intimidation check for me, please.
17.
He backs up slightly, but he stays within range of you. And he lowers his weapon. And he says, "All right. I'll yield."
Good. Who sent you?
First of all, if I'm to trust you, weapons away. Yes.
Of course.
I don't have any of
I'll
that.
put my rapier away.
I'm fine putting my sword away. I can draw it fast enough.
I'll just plunk the shield back on my back. Go like, hello, it's alright.
Can't stop my mouth.
He shields his sword. He nods at you. He says, "You want to know who sent me?"
Remove your helm.
And as he's bringing his hand back, he pulls a sharp dagger and lunges at Fine. He says, "Your maker!" For...
Can I intercede and try and parry the attack? Because I'm right there.
No, because that's a thing. Okay. You don't have. 24
To hit?
to hit. Yeah.
What does inspiration do?
Not
It
that.
lets you-
Not that.
Nothing in this
It's an
moment.
attack roll. Did you bane it?
Oh,
Oh, 20.
okay, so...
I think it's
So,
still there.
so it's a
Still
22.
hits.
It's a 22. Still
that
good?
is still a
All right,
hit.
All right.
Yes.
It's not that impressive. As 4 damage you take,
Ooh. It's a little tiny dagger.
Can I cast hold person? to
launching
keep
us
him
That's
still?
back
50% of the hit points I
into
have left.
combat. Huh?
Can I cast hold person to try and keep him still?
It is your turn, so you certainly could try.
It's a wisdom save.
Okay.
Just when you thought combat was over.
He saves.
Damn.
And
Never mind.
yes, Jenny, he still saves.
So, Jaina, you just did something?
Any
we haven't. I
movement?
was
Any
trying.
movement or
He's-
bonus?
he made a save,
Tamasin?
No, I'm good. I'll hold.
Okay. All right. Jaina.
Help me.
All right. I will cast a Dissonant Whispers on him at first level.
Okay. And
Yes.
that's a save.
It's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Natural 20.
Goddamn, so it's 3d6 and half.
Okay.
Wow.
How you doing?
So 7 and half of 7. So 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That was an awful roll.
What page is that?
Which one?
All right. Merkesh, you're up.
192. Help me. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing.
Okay.
Draw my rapier and my short sword, and this dishonorable jerk.
And
just
I'm
stabbed
going
my
to
friend.
help.
It's not your turn.
Damn it.
You make like nasty faces as Merkesh
I'm going to stab him in the back with the rapier,
skewers him from behind.
and that is a 12, which does not hit,
No, it does
but
not.
I'm going to use luck. And it is a 9, which still does not.
Also,
That is my
unluckiest
last order of
luck.
And then for my offhand attack, it's a 7, which does
7. Okay. Does not hit. As he's now ready and he's flailing with the desperation of survival instincts kicking in. Fine.
So, OOC? Out of character. Inspiration. I should know this, but
Yeah.
Bardic DM.
Is it Bardic or
the same?
DM's
I have one of
inspiration?
each.
So
You don't have
DM
Bardic
inspiration allows you to re-roll.
Mind?
Did you just give it to him?
No.
Then he doesn't have it anymore.
Why?
Okay, because it expires
Because
over.
You have to, yeah. So if you,
Okay.
so what you have is DM's inspiration
Right.
will allow you to roll a d20, basically like
Reroll a
saving
D20.
throw, attack roll,
Okay, so
skill
and
check.
I get one
That's safe.
d20.
One, yeah, one.
Okay.
It's basically advantage. Gives you advantage
Perfect.
on one of those.
Okay.
rolls.
Yes, the reason Fine's alive is due to DM's inspiration.
Right.
correct.
Yes,
That's
that's
right.
so true.
Way back.
Very well.
Episode 3, I believe.
Fantastic. All right. Very well.
All right.
I don't speak anymore. I'll let Faerun's memory speak for me.
Okay.
Quarterstaff and flurry of blows. Quarterstaff is a 18 to hit.
Okay. That's a hit.
1d8 plus. So for 12 points of damage.
Okay. That will finish him.
Oh, thank God.
Good night, sweet prince.
Yeah.
And as your quarterstaff finds its mark, it crashes deep into his collarbone. You hear the bone crack and the crunch as he's brought to his knees and his eyes loll back in his head. And he just, what? And he
You were
falls
given a
backwards
chance.
onto the ground.
He was.
You do have the choice with the melee attack to bring him down to 0 hit points and stabilize.
Oh God. I just...
If you so choose.
Do we want to try again?
I say,
What does the group say?
I'd say
Do we need
information is
information more than-
so-
I mean, clearly they were sent to try and find someone.
Yes, but who? And how did they know we were here?
we do have someone to be, and honestly, they're red
after us.
plumes. We know they're after us.
We know
I don't think
why.
they're going to tell us anything, especially after we killed him and then revived him. I say we get to the festival. I'm still in good spirits. How about you guys?
Well, the rest of you are Harpers, so leave this to me. I bend down next to him, pull a dagger from my boot, and jab it into the side of his neck.
Okay. Emptying his lifeblood into the soil.
And then proceed to ransack his body.
Okay, fair enough. You...
We do our regular searches.
Sure. Ranquess, as you presumably most interested in the caster, as you go through her personal items, you find 2 gold pieces and 10 silver pieces. You also see the markings that would call her out as a red wizard. If the flowing red robes didn't immediately. She also has her blonde hair tightly pulled back in dreadlocks and these intricate tattoos all over her face. And the fire that once raged with fury in her eyes has died out to leave just white opalesque pupils in the center. Merkesh, the night that you felled, you see 1 gold. You find 1 gold and 2 silver on his body. The other, the one that was presumably the subordinate, 5 gold and 3 silver.
Is he
Fine.
checking both bodies then? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Sorry, you said
5 gold and 3 silver. Beyond that, they have their equipment. They're each wearing breastplate and a great sword apiece. They each have a dagger and a heavy crossbow. The caster has no other equipments of merit. A couple of belt pouches, these ropes, that's about it.
You know, if we
Did you
were
say a
to
dagger?
strip
Yeah.
the armor off these guys and find some way to transport said armor, we could probably get a whole lot of gold for it. Or every single red plume in the region looking for us because we're selling their armor.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
On second
that.
thought, why don't we leave them here in an... Yeah, right here. We don't have to bury
Yeah,
them. Let's
we
go.
just
No,
leave.
let's go.
We just leave them here.
I'm ready.
And
to...
as soon as
Is
the
anyone
idea
else
leaves
cons-
your lips, you immediately
I
call
would
it
like
out.
to suggest we just pile the bodies and I can burn them.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
That sounds like...
And you love burning things.
Especially red plumes.
Yes.
It's a hobby.
Oh, excellent.
All right. I mean, I'm fine.
Well, I can't lift them, so go
All right.
actions.
Athletics check for both of you guys.
God damn it.
Athletics.
No problem.
8.
That's a 15.
Okay.
No sack of flour this time.
And
Yes, I'm just wondering, is anyone else... How did they find us? Like, I know they were looking for us,
Well, I
probably,
think
but
they
did they
just got
happen
lucky
upon
this
us?
time, honestly.
Did someone
They probably
give them...
scouts everywhere.
But
Well,
they
that
seem
would have
to
been a
know...
fun question to ask before I cut this guy's throat.
I'm just saying.
I said to keep them alive. Like I said,
At this point,
alive.
based on how the activity and how sort of notorious we are at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised that there aren't just an increase of guards out here, but perhaps we keep our eyes open
Well,
in case this
And we
continues.
seem to know
there's
exactly
an
where
increase
we
of
were.
gods because they did tell us at an Elventree. So we know that there's been an increase of gods. I don't think they're
And now-
following
and now
us.
the increased guards are now going to be missing a patrol.
Well, that's all right. It's here.
roll
We're
a
not.
nature
why-
check, Tamasin, please.
A nature check?
As you come to this realization,
15.
you can gauge from where you are that you're at least closer to Hillsfar than you've been since you left. And at that moment, you hear the clip clop, clip clop, clip clop
Yeah, we're
of
gonna want to
hooves.
leave this area.
A number of hooves about 25 feet
faster
to the
than
north
now.
of you.
We're,
Very well.
How many
we're
horses?
We're talking.
enough. We're quite close to Hillsfar.
That's
The
probably
sounds of the
fine.
hooves are on top of one another
let's
enough
go,
that it's
bye.
at least a
We
small
need to get
group.
going.
I'm walking.
I'll cast... everyone who's still near me.
All right. I'll wait a moment.
Pass without a trace. Like,
Okay.
if we're going to be followed, let's try to get where we need to go without any followers.
Sounds good.
Quick question while I was with the caster's body and all that. Is the robe small enough that I could take the robe and put it in my pack?
You would have to take the time to undress her. She's a lifeless, limp
it's not
body.
just a robe that goes over top of
No,
whatever,
it's like
other
it's
fine
like a
clothing.
robe garment.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's like twisted and kind of woven.
Yeah,
Okay,
we-
then I leave it.
We have to go.
Well, yeah, I leave it. We go.
Yeah, we have to go.
All right. let's do a group stealth check, +10 for Fawn's Pass Without a Trace. As you feel yourselves lightning and you no longer make sounds as you cross the nettles and the leaves on the ground.
Okay, so 18.
Go ahead.
+13.
13, 18,
25.
25,
18.
18,
32.
32.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. All right, suddenly you're moving like shadows through the woods, and Tamasin, make another survival check for me, please.
Survival check?
Yeah,
Oh, that's shit.
this one. Okay.
That is a 1.
All right. Just no real benefit. You have an idea of where Hillsfar is. Tamasin kind of guides you guys into at least not going that way, but otherwise you begin to move in a ribbon-like fashion, almost one with the wind through the woods, and you end up making up any time that you would have lost otherwise on the road towards Ulash. Night begins to fall. You begin to grow weary, tired, a little hungry. As the daylight turns to dark evening, the evening turns into twinkling starlight, just peeking through the very rare opening in the overhang of the Cormanthor Forest as you stay close to the thickest brush you can find. Are you traveling through the night?
I would need a full
rest.
long rest.
We said,
Travel?
we said
Are we gonna be late for the
No,
festival?
that's why I figured. Like, we'll take a rest.
Will we be late for the festival?
Take a rest? This is
I
the end of
believe
your
the festival's
first day, so
tomorrow,
the
yes?
festival starts tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Well, we have to be there in the morning. How much
Yeah.
further are we? How far
Yeah,
away
so
are
we leave early.
Yeah, right now you can still make it. You'll be there about if the festival opens at 9, you'll be there probably about 10:30 with a good hustle, provided you don't
That's
run into any
a little
other.
late. I'm
Just in
saying.
time for registration.
Well, I should really be the first one there to register if needed. Like,
It's not like
10:30
we
is a
have to
little
wait,
bit
like,
of
you go
late.
through sectionals and regionals, like I'm pretty sure you get to
No, but I'm sure you understand. Like,
traveling through the forest at night.
no. But we don't need to rest all night.
Well, I'm willing to press on then, and
I mean, we
maybe
can just do a short rest.
I believe a short rest would be what the doctor ordered.
I'm fine with that.
As a short
And
rest
that would get
gives
us
me
there sooner, yes?
How long does pass without a trace last?
Good question. Pass without a trace.
It's like an hour.
Yeah. Pass without
like
a
an hour.
trace. Where are you?
Oh, it's up to an hour.
Yeah.
So up to an hour. So you're through it at this point. Like it's already dissipated. You've made your
Right,
time.
yeah.
You could do a short rest and then continue through the night. if you like.
Good. Would you like to do? Let's do that.
Sure.
Dirt and short rest.
Not doing a halftime? Because earlier you spoke about
I don't
halftime.
think so. I think are you guys good to
What?
go through? Continue
Oh.
without a break? You want to take a quick break?
I'd
It's
like to refresh
9:30.
my beverage and,
Okay.
possibly run it.
All right, as you take a short rest,
Take a short rest.
so are we. Guys, we're going to take a very quick
Chyna
break.
Bigly, ladies and gentlemen, the short rest.
We're just going to get some fresh drinks. I'm going to jump into Q&A and we'll get into chat.
And just so everyone knows, I'm going to do song of rest on the short rest.
And a song of rest. Good stuff. So take your hit points, take your short rest, take 5 minutes, grab drinks, and when we come back, we'll go right back in. As our team has managed to stave off an attack from some red plumes and a red wizard to the best of their abilities to discern. They've made their way through the deep thicket of Cormanthor Forest, taking a short rest in the deep of night. And bravely and intently, they're going to press on
Yes.
through the
off
evening.
we
To the
go.
talent contest.
As the night chill begins to sink into your bones, shaking loose the warmth of the day,
I have been
you
permanently
do manage
cold
to
for
make your
4
way
days.
all the way through the Cormanthor Forest, south, skirting the typical patrol arc of red plume contingents from Hillsfar, as your trajectory begins to arc northward. And as you crest out of the trees, you are met with a strangely different vision given your proximity to Elventree. But over the week, you've become quite used to the rich, lush foliage of Elventree. But this time you're met with the barren, flat ground of burnt soil, sun-baked grass, and it leads through up into a hilly rising, into a town in the distance with stone walls, otherwise very plain seeming. Looks like it's suffered some age over the years. But as your gaze rests down now at the task of hand, at the very foot of the hill leading up to the town of Ulash, you see brilliant colors. And you see carriages now rolling by as the night breaks into the very, very early stages of dawn.
Oh, my people.
Tired-looking travelers with a look of excitement on their faces. And in the distance,
Oh boy.
Merriment, music
Johnson.
rises. Even in this early stage, the Talespinner's Jamboree has begun to burst into life before you. About 120 feet away, you see banners flying and various symbols heralding the
I
arrival
still
of
maintain this is a trap.
Of
Festival-
Chyna Bigly.
no
I am telling you.
festival goers near and far. I suppose including Chyna Bigly. I don't know, maybe. But the sounds of live music, fiddle, harp, and flute, and more hit you long before your eyes lay on the Talespinner's Jamboree. In this otherwise barren clearing, the sounds of life and laughter are rich and constant. As you draw closer, the scent of sweet fruits and smoked meats swarm your senses. There's a definite air. There's a definite air of excitement here. As you draw closer, children run, dance, and play, while the elders carouse with one another. The backdrop of the festival is one of brightly colored banners and quilts. Games and carts litter the area, marked with banners from all across Faerun, but most are from the Moonsea area, including Hillsfar, the Dale Lands, and Cormyr. And with that, we can pull all of the Fog of War off. We'll remove the tokens, because you can pull your tokens back too, and I'll go ahead and reclaim those dead bodies. It's really messing with the chi of the festival. Those like dirty corpses kicking around. Thank you. Feng Shui. Thanks very much.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I was going to do like the table.
As you breach into the boundary of the Talespinner's Jamboree, full of life.
Oh, exciting.
The entire Jamboree is built around a center staging, which at one point was a large, lumbering, mystical tree, now long since felled, and now polished into a smooth surface to create a risen stage with a stairwell. There's been a panel set up with a thick, rough-hewn log table and some elegant pedestal seating across the front. But for now, the stage is bare, and the panel rests empty. Events surround the staging, however, and of course crowds bustle to and fro, creating quite a thicket even in this early sense of day. And for the time being, the Jamboree is yours to explore.
See, I told you it was important we get here early. Look how busy it is already.
I regret my life choices.
No, you did. Merkesh, do you smell the meat? I smell the meat. You love meat.
It looks to me like they're playing Flip Cup over there, so I'm gonna go check that out.
All right.
Excellent.
Go ahead and put your tokens on there and...
Tamasin,
what
come
you
with me
wanna
to
do.
the registration table for the festival, all right?
All right,
Put me near the
okay.
cards.
And I grab her hand.
I'm
Okay.
going
Card
with
table.
China.
Where?
If
Where's
something
the
terrible
registration
befalls us, you know
table?
where I am.
Okay. So,
Sorry, what's people doing?
Chyna grabs Tamasin and drags her off into a thicket where there's a lineup of all different races, ages, genders, all walks of life, literally lined up around the corner.
Okay, and I stop. I'm excuse me. Excuse me. Hi, sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Chyna
I'm so-
Bigly.
All right, hold that thought.
Chyna
I have nothing to do with this. I'm
As she awkwardly drags Tamasin through the throng. Fun. What's your call? What
Well,
strikes
after
you here?
my last encounter, I feel like I maybe need a little bit more practice with my aim. So I'm going to try to find some sort of game where I can practice. Maybe I don't know what type of sports. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a look around and see.
Roll an
See
investigation
you
check.
later.
Yeah.
Watch me perform.
Investigation. That would be a 2.
Okay. As you're kind of perusing the area and you're looking around, you're seeing what people are kind of into. You can see there's like an archery setup over here. But what really strikes you is this tank over here, where there's a lineup of people, and they seem to be throwing a burlap bag at a target, and the target's attached to a long wooden plank that suspends a shivering gnome that doesn't look like he's having much fun at the end of the plank, and he's glaring at this young human child as the human child hefts the bag in his hand and lets loose and launches the bag, but misses the target completely as it flies over and into the brush below.
Oh, well, very well. I'll head over that way.
Okay.
And overshoot. Wow.
He falls into a crevasse
And your
now
ass
he's
up
dead.
in the bucket. All right, as Fawn makes his way over there. Ranquess, what strikes you at the Jamboree?
Oh, what do I see around? Like, I'm not really big on all these little tiny games and such because
Sure.
he's not.
Roll an
he's not used to
investigation
any of
check
that.
for you.
That is a 19.
You're not really impressed by some of the typical kitsch of festival life, But as you encroach around this corner here, something suddenly does spark your interest, provided that's hitting what I think it's hitting. And there are 4 pillars surrounding a central pillar. They're sporting floating, glowing crystals, and in the center, there's this mist swirling around a very intricate-looking cube that's floating. Seems to draw your attention there.
Okay, then I go over to investigate further.
Okay. Rakesh.
I'm just watching the crowd, seeing what's
Watching
going
the crowd.
on.
All right, roll an investigation.
Making sure that there's no pickpockets around, and if there are any, I would like to catch them.
Okay.
That is, you said, sorry, investigation?
Investigation, yeah.
That would be a 15.
Okay. What piques your interest right off the bat are carnival barkers that are yelling, trying to push their wares against one another, trying to outdo one another. There's toasted caramel taffy at one station, but another cart really draws you in with the smell of smoked meats and cured spices. And
like bacon.
It's a barker from the Sea of Stars, far to the east, claiming to have the best seafood that the continent has ever seen, let alone this region.
Huh.
As he,
I'm from Gallenport. We'll see with this.
all right, challenge accepted. Chyna and Tamasin, as you make your way through the throng, roll a stealth check for me,
So anxious.
and roll a perception check, please.
All right.
23.
10.
Your desire to push through the throng and get this done far outweighs your interest in keeping Tamasin with you as Chyna virtually disappears in a sea of legs, and you are intent. She's just like pushing people out of the way.
This is
The
my
only
worst
the only inkling that you have, even where she might possibly be, are the like disgruntled reactions from people being pushed out of the way
I'm going to
as
follow
she
the
makes her way.
disgruntled people and hope that maybe that's where she went.
She makes her way easily 20,
Apologizing
30
or
feet
not.
away from you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm
push
not
through.
even here to do this. I'm just with the gnome. Bye.
Roll a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awful. That's a 5.
All right, you can't get through because people are starting to turn and talk about how pissed off they are at this, like,
cutting
who's is
line.
what, just like cutting through the line. But you, on the other hand, managed to burst forth. There's a mother, and she's literally mid-sentence with one of the the administration people, and her son is beaming as you literally push through the mother and her son, push them out of the way, step forward, and prominently announce yourself as,
Hi, Chyna Bigly.
oh, all right, Chyna. There is a line up, love. You're
Oh,
going.
yes. Oh, sorry. I was just right behind these two. You can finish with them.
Is she with you? No,
No,
this
no.
rude woman.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I thought you were done. I'll
Roll a
keep
persuasion
waiting.
check.
Okay.
I'm just lost and alone now in the sea of angry people.
She looks at you and she says, I should have you disqualified before you even enter. But in this case, I'll allow it if you will simply be quiet.
Oh, yes, of course. I can do that.
Take your place.
I'm here.
She situates you in line. And after the mother and her son kind of collect themselves, the son just about to well up with tears, they finally get registered, and then it's your turn. The administrator looks at you as if though she's never seen you before. Asks you for your name.
Yes, it's Chyna.
Yes, G.
No. It's a CYHYCHYNA.
That's not how you spell Chyna.
I know how to spell my name. Thank you. It's my name.
Okay, fine. She begrudgingly
And last name Bigly.
humors you. Bigly.
Yes.
B.
Yes.
E.
No, that would be
E.
beg. I mean,
B.
okay, you pronounce things to B.
E.
Okay, B-I.
H. It's like Starbucks, and they just basically butcher your name, but they put it on the
B-I-G.
B-I-T.
No, G.
G. All right, you
Why?
struggle to get her through it.
Oh, dear.
She finally does,
Whew,
and she
that
holds her
was
hands out.
Yes.
20 gold to enter,
Yes.
at least for the first round.
Wait, you have to pay when you move forward.
Have you not heard of Anduin Icon? The search for Faerun's brightest star.
Have you not heard of Chyna Bigly?
Can't say I have, love. Have you been on the show?
I don't need
Then
to
no
be
one knows
heard.
you.
Tam's like,
What's
7
your
years
name?
away.
You're so pretty.
Felania.
Yeah, it sounds like you look like a Felania.
Oh.
So
Shall we
20?
go back to the disqualification
20
conversation?
gold, is it?
Where am
Yes,
I?
it is,
All right,
dear.
20 gold.
Excellent.
I'm so scared.
Now you see
Fifth
this
of my
commotion at the front. Reasonably, you can assume that might have something to do with Chyna.
Felania, do you just do the
Very politely
registration
showing
here?
my way up there.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Good to know. Thank you so much. Is anything else
She
I need
looks
to
you
know?
square in the eyes and says, "Good luck."
I don't need it. Thank
really
you so
hope
much.
She's not one of the judges.
Tamasin, along for the ride?
Am I done? I'm done. I didn't need to say anything
Yeah.
else.
Just wait till you're corralled. Stay close.
Excellent.
You have
Do I
to
see
alone
her
with a
now?
lot of very angry people.
Oh, I thought you were right behind
No!
me. Oh, I'm
No,
so sorry.
You abandoned me in the crowd.
Oh no, you are fine.
Traumatized.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. What do you need? We have to stay close, but I'm sure there's I'm not sure here. I just need to hear.
I just would like to be not here. They're all very cross with you.
Oh no, you're
No, they are.
No, don't be cross.
No, I'm not. They are.
As you're conversing at the front, she collects a small stack of papers,
We have moved to the side from here.
stands up and walks away, and the other two administrators walk to the front, and they pull a rope across, and they say, "Registration is complete, everybody. We hope you stay around for the show."
Wow, we really just got her into life.
And
Do
you
you
hear
see-
nothing but
and
like
that's why
moans
it's
and
important
complaints,
we
some
got
wailing.
here early.
Oh, this was my shot! Like people just absolutely devastated that for some reason they're not going to be able to compete.
You know, they have to stop somewhere,
yeah.
right?
People, have been
People
lined
start
up for
glaring at
days.
you.
Well, probably.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, so do you want to? I mean, I
I mean-
shouldn't really drink before
Well,
performing.
I mean, I don't. What do you?
I mean, I can have one drink. Let's go have one drink. You wanted chocolate, yes?
I do.
Excellent. Chocolate and rum. Wonderful.
All right.
No,
You go
rum.
off to find a sweet vendor and maybe an ale house. There is actually a grog pit
Grog pit.
that serves spirits and ale.
What is it close? Would I
It's
be
like a
close by?
beer garden, beer tent.
Would it be close?
Everything
hear?
here is within.
Great,
You can
let's
probably
go
walk
there.
They
across
just want
the
something
entire.
warm and
They'll have something
Sure.
warm for
In
her to
about 10
drink
minutes.
there too, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we'll
With
go
no alcohol.
let's
You can.
go.
You'll
All
have
right.
to find out. Sure.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm
Fine.
freezing forever.
As you approach the lineup, you wait. You're kind of watching intrigued as people are taking shots at this poor little gnome sitting at the edge of a plank, frigid, shivering. But he looks pretty disgruntled, so maybe people don't feel that bad. As your turn in line comes around and you crest the front, and then what you see is this large, kind of roughly planked bin. It looks like an oversized, like a giant's laundry bin, sloshing water back and forth in this rickety contraption with the plank on the side, and the target rests to the upper right of this gnome, and it's attached to the plank on the bottom.
So mean.
My
Barker
friend
says,
Gnome.
"Step right up.
Oh.
Want to try your luck? Look like you've got an arm on you. Think you can hit this one? He's getting a bit dry and cold. Maybe a bit of chilled water would do him right. What do you think?"
Oh, well, as long as he's here of his own free will.
Up for the challenge, then.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. He tosses a bag in the air, and as you grab it, we won't make you check for that. Time for that later.
Tamasin would have to check.
You catch the burlap
Yep.
sack out of the air, and it's got it has definitely like a heft to it. It seems to be filled with either rice or grain or something of some substance.
Oh, nice. All right. I give it a toss at the target.
Just go ahead. Do your worst.
And that was my worst. I imagine just what's my modifier?
Literally my worst.
Dex, right? So that's 11.
11. As it soars past the target. It's like, oh, poor luck, my friend. You can always try again, but it's going to cost you another 5 gold. That'll be 10 for the total.
Ooh, all right. I think the one toss is enough.
All right, just the 5 gold then, and he holds his hand out.
Blink, blink. Oh, yeah. Oh. Here you go.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, that's how this works. You
Yeah.
pay, and then you throw. One more shot. Come on, you can do it.
I'll try my luck somewhere else.
Make your money back.
Make my money back.
Yeah.
So wait, if I sink him, I make my money back.
You sure do. Maybe even a little better.
All right, let's give it another go.
All right, give it a go.
Destitute by the end of this.
All right, there we go. That is a 14.
As this gnome splashes in, water flashing out over the bin, and he's just like just flailing in the middle of this water as he comes up soaking wet, and just like mechanically gets out of the bin like he's done it 100 times over. Nice one! Here you go. A deal's a deal. 5 gold. Double or nothing. He likes the water. He doesn't look it, but he does.
I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. Thank you.
All right. Come on back then.
Sure.
He sends you on your
I
way.
need something more hand to hand. I think.
Okay.
What's this mud pit over here?
As you make your way towards the pit, you hear like snarling and snorting, and you push through a crowd that's gathered and seem to be cheering and yelling into it. And as you peek through, you see just caked in mud this human-built, like kind of rough-looking guy just chasing around this large boar. It looks pretty dangerous otherwise. And the boar is just trying desperately to get away. And this guy's just reaching at its hooves, getting kicked in the face. And the crowd is just cheering him on, going crazy.
Now, this is, I think, more my speed today.
All right, hold that thought, and we'll go to Ranquess. As you step up, a dark-clad, mysterious-looking figure, shrouded in black robes with orange trim, his hands folded within the sleeves. He speaks to you in a low voice, and his voice almost enters your head. It's almost like he's not speaking at you, but speaking around you. Welcome, contestant. Is it your wish to attempt the mystical puzzle box of Aknaktaktak? You can just see like a wry grin in the shadow beneath his clothes.
What's
Ack-nack.
what's in it for me?
Ack-nack.
If you are able to solve this age-old mystery, you'll be awarded 10 gold pieces. The entry fee is a mere 5 to try your intellect against the intellect of ancients. And he kind of like makes the echo sound himself. It's the first time you see his hands.
I wouldn't waste more than 3 gold on your parlor tricks.
But sire, this artifact has traveled long and far to be challenged by the realm's brightest minds. Surely you are up to the challenge. A mere 5 gold is a pittance.
Yes, but I am an intelligent one, and I know I'm not paying more than 3 gold for entry.
Roll a persuasion check.
Natural 20. Which makes it a 25.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Fine. 3 gold it is. And he extends a slender bony hand from below the cloaked sleeve, awaiting your payment.
I pay him the 3 gold.
Please subtract 3 from your coffers. Right this way. And he ushers you to the pillar. And the puzzle box is a multifaceted square with runes and holy symbols that seem to shift as you look at it. And he kind of stands back and he holds the audience back, and they seem to kind of... There are a couple of other people who look like they might be either intellects or scholars, and maybe some that are arcane studied. And they just seem to watch you a little bit as they wait for you to study the box and see what sense you can make of it. So, as you look, you see holy symbols that shift and shimmer and runes that don't seem to belong to any particular language or culture. But go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh. Natural 20.
Okay. You regard it for a little bit,
22.
and suddenly your eyes begin to follow the shimmer, and you can make some sense of it. And you hold your hands towards it, and it begins to react to your proximity, not even touching the box. Go ahead and make another one.
That is a 10.
But it seems to throw you a little bit as the shimmering comes back into play, and you can't seem to quite twist it in the right way. Go ahead and make another.
That is a 19.
But then you find your orientation again, and you flip it over, and you realize that the runes and the holy symbols are starting to line up on a side, and you can get a couple of them to match. You've almost covered the whole square. Go ahead and make another.
I made one whole side greenish. Win
That is a 12.
12.
It's an arcane Rubik's Cube.
Still stalled. Go ahead and make another for me.
Of an attack.
That is a 14.
14. And you finally begin to manage to get it to click a little bit. And make one more for me. You're about 2 blocks away, and you can't quite figure out how to get it.
That is a 17.
17. But then at the last moment, as you rotate it slightly upwards in a diamond-shaped pattern, you realize that you can shift the blocks with your mind, and they click into place. And it spins, and with a whirl of light, sparks fly off into the air as the box spins and dissipates. And the gentleman maintaining the booth, glorious! Well done! You are indeed an intelligent soul. He solved the box, everybody. We're done for the next few moments, but while this ancient artifact returns to us from the powers of the gods, it awaits another contender. Enjoy the festival, and he begins to back away.
Wait. What's my prize?
Your prize is the prestige.
That's not how this works.
And 20 tickets.
2?
They are tickets that are redeemable in the souvenir shop.
Sold.
All right, then. He gives you like 20 red tattered tickets. And then he just slinks back and he starts to kind of pack up his booth a little bit.
Exactly like that.
All right.
It's like covered in glow
Merkesh.
sticks.
So at this point, I've gone to this amazing seafood thing. I'm currently walking around with a squid on a stick, which is delightful, by the way.
Essentially, yeah.
Squid on us.
I'm perusing the grounds of the fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now, I haven't told anyone, but I'm on the lookout for a blonde-haired elven minstrel that I remember from Elventree. Just if I happen to see him here, I want to keep tabs on him.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Alhaven.
Al
That is
Halen.
investigation, which makes that a 19.
Okay, it's really difficult to tell because the nature of this fair is to draw performers from the realm over. So there are like tons of blonde minstrels walking around. If there's one in particular that you were looking for based on your recollection of what you've seen, you don't seem to find anything that really speaks of
I
that.
spoke to the guy before.
Yeah. You don't see anything that really piques you as far as that is concerned here.
Keep my eyes peeled.
Sure, as you
And
continue
I, head
to
back over to try and find the
peruse.
ladies.
Make me a perception check though,
Do you know what the ladies
as you scan the crowd and kind of peruse.
Perception, I'm proficient in that. That makes that a 12.
A what?
12.
12? As you are peering around, you do see through the crowd one familiar face. It's a small orcish boy. Nah, orcish or half orcish, difficult to tell. But as you kind of scan the crowd, you see him looking directly at you through the throng on the other side of the stage, like around and on the other side of the stage.
When I see him see me, I'm going to raise a single hand with a hello.
And with the next person that passes by close to him, he's gone again.
I try and track down this one.
Okay.
This has happened to me before.
Roll a survival check.
Survival, that is a 12.
You're trying to find any kind of trace. You go directly to where you saw him, and as you get there, by the time you push through the crowds, you can't see any kind of tracks or any kind of anything that would be discernible. I mean, the ground is literally pounded into a fine mud now with all the foot traffic. Just very difficult to really get a sense. But you look around, you don't see any trace of him.
Am I hallucinating this work kid? Because no one's seen him but me.
I don't know. Are you?
Can I try and disbelieve if there's really an orc kid?
You can try.
Is it in my mind?
Yeah.
Anyway, no.
Another word.
The rest
Difficult
of
to
us
say.
have seen the orchid. It's not. I don't.
Some
The
of-
first time everyone saw the orc kid. Every time after that, it was just me.
Nope.
No, Ranquess has seen him too.
In the forest, when I went running after him.
No.
Saw him?
No. But I saw him when I
Chyna
was
Bigly.
after-
Yes.
Over
Well,
time,
that's when I was
as you
going
are
to
enjoying
him, but I
suds, now getting a light glow on in the
Good, I'm
grog
just-
pit.
I'm fine. I have a good. I can handle my own.
Not enough to
I'm
affect your
drinking hot
performance.
chocolate.
Right. Not enough to.
An attendant comes to you and collects you, and she says, "We are corralling all the contestants. The festival is about to begin proper."
Excellent.
Do you
Will
want me to come with you? Do you want company?
I mean, can she come?
I'm
Certainly,
Here.
we will.
She'll come with me.
we-
Alright to have a friendly face.
All
like
youths
me.
must be
You
accompanied
can-
by a guardian. Yes.
Well, I'm
sorry. Oh, oh, alright.
I mean, like, I'm not her. I mean, she's actually older than
Yeah,
I am.
I'm-
So, I mean, it's like misleading because of the
it's
height.
not. I mean,
thing,
I'm
but,
I'm short, but I'm not that.
also,
I mean,
yeah.
Take
it's not-
inspiration, because your
anything,
reactions
she
have been
joins me.
fucking amazing. Go ahead. Deanne's inspiration.
Thank you.
Okay.
Also,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, I was her child once. That's a
Yeah,
funny
I mean, that
story.
was the thing.
Yeah, long story. Let's go.
Yeah.
Are you still interested then? Okay, good.
Yes,
She-
we're coming.
Yes.
She walks you over to a couple of other contestants. There are only 4 or 5 there who
recognize
are
any of
waiting. You recognize the child that you bullied out of his first position in line, or nearly did, and his mother is definitely looking hard at you. She's not too thrilled with the fact that you've made it in there as well. So,
And none of the others I don't.
but they offer you some light refreshments as you're waiting.
Is it water?
And you see it is water. It's water, juices, things like that, fresh juices from the region. As the throng begins to start to gravitate towards and around the stage now, people are starting to look. And that'll take us too far in as you reach the pen where this wild boar, they're calling it a dire boar, although you have your doubts because it would probably have killed everyone within a 30-foot radius who wasn't well equipped. But this brute who is in there just gives up, and he stands up and he leans on a post and he waves the guy off and he walks out, and the barker turns around and says, "All right then, who's next up? Anyone braver than this sword?"
What's the goal here?
The goal is to catch our Fifi. She's a dire boar.
Oh, really?
And she's lightning quick. Very difficult to rein in. Many men have tried. Even a few women. None have succeeded.
Oh, really? And what's in it for me to give you that for you?
If you can get Fifi to the ground, make her submit to you, show her that you are the alpha, you win yourself 10 gold, my friend. Only 5 gold for a shot.
All right. I'm in for some sport.
We have a contender! And all the crowd surrounding the pen. Yeah! All right, get her! Take that bitch down! Some people are drunk now and they're being really rude. As he pushes you into the pen and closes the gate behind you. And the boar sort of snarls and begins to stomp at the ground a little bit. It digs low into the mud and it looks at you. It begins to charge towards you. You narrowly, kind of waking up, you're not quite ready for it to spring at you like that, and it stops and turns around, kicking up a deep curve in the thick muck of the pen now, and you're struggling kind of to hold your footing. Everything is now caked in mud, and even just standing there, you're about up to your knees in this thick, wet muck.
Mm-hmm. All right.
As it readies again.
Let's go. You know what? I have all the silken rope. How about I try to fashion some sort of noose?
He says, all natural, my friend. Just you and Fifi. Right. Get him, Fifi! And Fifi comes at you again.
All right.
Go get him, Fifi.
So make a grapple check. So this is your athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Ooh, acrobatics, please. Yes, thank you. That would be a 12.
12. You get your arm around Fifi, but she's so slick with the mud from the previous attempts that you barely manage to catch yourself before you go face first in the muck, and she shoots out behind you like a wet bar of soap, and she cuts around and she's stomping up muck, comes at you again.
Mm. Yeah, let's do it again.
She's trying to get it.
All right, that's a natural 20.
Okay. This time you brace yourself deep in the muck, and you take Fifi's snout square in the chest for 5 points of bludgeoning damage. But you arrest her handily, and you wrestle her to the ground, and you manage to hold her down as she's struggling. But now you must restrain her. It's not good enough just to catch her, brother. You've got to hold her down.
Yield, Fifi!
She's kicking and squealing now. Her hooves now flailing up in the air.
All right. Acrobatics again?
Yep.
What is that?
Or athletics, your choice.
Yeah, acrobatics. That's 10.
10?
Yes.
As she kicks out and you're forced to let go because the sharp hooves are coming so close to your face, she rights herself again and begins to try to run away from you. Go ahead and make another grapple.
All right.
That was the best one so far.
That's what I said, just to breathe in.
Another 10.
10?
Yeah.
Other things can't do.
And this time you manage to kind of gauge her movement, and as she's coming through, you get your hands underneath the thin part of her stomach, clasp your hands together, and just dig your knees into the ground, and you're pulling with all your might. Go ahead and make another restraining check now.
So that's still acrobatics, right?
Yeah. You need a natural 20.
That is not a natural 20.
But she slips and kicks out of your grip. Oh, another one bites the dust, I think. Can he make it, folks? And they're like, boo, make sure boos. Yeah! Make a constitution saving throw for me.
Oh, okay. Come on.
Tired from the mud.
That is Con. Where are you, Con? I believe that is 8.
And you're winded now. Now, even with your tried and true physique and your years of training and the work that you've had on the road, this thing is starting to wind you now.
Okay.
But it comes back around and it's
One
also a little bit winded. Go ahead.
Now, I still have my DM's inspiration, right?
Yes, but you make this check with disadvantage.
Oh!
Exhaustion.
Oh, that's
What is
really
that?
too bad.
So...
You need another 20.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
As she breaks away from you, go ahead and make another attempt.
Acrobatics, that
Is it
is...
disadvantage?
Oh, at disadvantage?
Yeah,
that's
disadvantage,
right, sorry. I should keep that one. That was a 9. And that's a 1, so yeah.
One, good. She gets away from you. She comes back for one more push towards the gate. She's trying to get out now, seeing the swinging gates. Go ahead and make one more attempt at disadvantage.
20. Oh, and a 7.
And a 7?
Yeah.
But you managed to hold her. She's winded too now, and her hooves cut deep into the ground, into the muck. You manage to throw a leg over her, and she falls heavy onto the ground, but she's still squirming. You're barely holding on for desperation. Make one more attempt to restrain her at disadvantage.
God dang it.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's a 1.
And make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Advantage or
Yeah,
dis?
just regular, just straight up.
Yeah.
That is a 15.
You managed to find the gumption to give this one more shot. She's still on the ground. So make another grappling attempt.
I love the Tamasin's back with you, like, eating cheese.
19.
Disadvantage.
Oh, no, dang it. 11. Oh, DM inspiration.
Okay. He really wants to tie this hog down.
Oh, a 19.
Oh, and you managed to now she's thrashing. In your last throws, you managed to get your arms around her again. Make one more attempt to restrain her.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Oh,
You're
God,
still
I'll take
tired.
that.
I rolled a
man.
2.
19 and 13.
You only had to beat a 2. You managed to restrain her, and now the two heavy forms slump into the muck. It's difficult now to tell elf from boar from muck, but eventually the mass stops moving, and Fine kicks back to his knees. The crowd around erupts into cheers, and the stable master welcomes you out of the pen. He says, "That was a pretty good display, boy. I thought you were out of there a couple of times." And he slaps 10 gold in your hands.
Oh, thank you.
Well earned. She needs some rest now, folks. So give us some time. Try again in a few moments.
I need to prove something to me, and I think I did it. Thank you. All right, where's
Fine,
the
I
drink
keep the
at?
pen looking terribly winded.
Did you not have a speaking spell as a kid? Or like one of those ones where you would like pull a string and the thing.
Oh, yeah, I fully had one.
The cow says.
My mimicry skills are bad.
What does a cow say?
Moo.
What does a pig say?
Oink.
What does a duck say?
Quack.
Okay. You're
I
good.
know what they say, I just
But
can't.
what does the fox say?
Woo!
True, though. That's what they say.
It is.
Oh, where is the
Isn't
nearest
it
refreshment
pop,
stand?
pop, 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 pop?
The
oh.
grog pit.
Pop, pop, pop.
The
We-
grog
yeah.
pit is the closest.
Ding, ding, ding,
So there's
ding,
a
ding.
there's
there's
like a
no-
beer tent that you
We
can
were
easily
just
make
there,
your
but
way
we're
to.
gone now.
Okay,
Grab
yeah.
some refreshment.
Yeah.
However, suddenly, the music permeating the grounds goes quiet in a snap. And as with magical synchronization, the torches lighting the festival go immediately dark, casting, even in this afternoon, an odd darkness around the festival grounds. You hear whispers people starting to look in there. The
I'm sure.
laughter yelling and the jovial nature of the sounds of the field shift into uncomfortable whispers and uneasy queries as festival goers wonder if this is another event or if they should be concerned. In that moment, a soaring purple arc ignites and launches high into the night air. Sorry, say afternoon air. Your breath catches, frozen still for a moment, until it bursts into a magnificent fan of multicolored light, and the participants in the field erupt with cheers and applause. The colored burst is followed by another.
I was gonna say.
Then another, as a
Thaumaturgy.
loud booming voice
I'm gonna
echoes.
stop one from going off.
A large booming voice echoes over the field. People of Faerun, guests on the moon sea, spirits of myth Draenor, and everything in between. Are you ready to find Faerun's brightest star? Everybody starts applauding. The applause is raucous as people start to gather around the stage, take their seats, and now there's a crowd like 30, 40 strong, just kind of gathering around. The stables begin to empty, and the crowd begins to circle around the stage. The stage in the center field becomes lit with a soiree of magical light and illusion as the crowd explodes into these cheers for a noble-looking, square-jawed elven man with short-cropped, dirty blonde hair. His voice is most definitely augmented with magic to soar across the entire plane of the festival area.
Sure.
Thank you. I'm your host, Rin Sokras. Charmed, I'm sure. And I'm joined by three of the most infamous, the most notorious, and the prettiest performers in all of Turil. Please give a warm Ulash welcome to Parla Abadil and a pretty young caramel-skinned elven maiden stands and waves to the approving cheers from the crowd. As Rin Sokras continues. Rodney Jarlson, as the human male stands and pretends to stumble drunkenly and to the laughs of his adoring fans. And of course, everyone's favorite, Simeon Coldwell. A frowning gnomish bard stands on his stool and waves off the preemptive, playful boos from the crowd as woo, people seemingly disapprove. As the crowd simmers and the lights return to a constant yellow-white spot on the stage, the panel welcomes the contestants out into the limelight as they guide you up onto the stage. Chyna, this young human boy. There's another female brown-haired human and a half-elven man with a set of panpipes all around his body.
The wings like those, like the lame family members in America's Got Talent.
As Rin makes his way over to you, are you excited tonight? Are you okay? Are you okay, my dear? Never mind. Let's get this party started. As they take their seats, the gnomish gentleman leans forward. Simeon Caldwell says, "All right, then, let's get on with it. What have you got for us today?" He sits back. And as the performers line up, the young boy steps forward. The half-elven man steps forward and begins to dust off his pipes, and the brown-haired human lady begins to posture herself as she stands tall and proud.
Look how cute they all are.
And they begin to prepare their instruments.
Just now.
The young elven lady steps forward first, and she looks intently, and she says, "I'm Danica, and I'm from just outside of Waterdeep. And today I'll be singing Gulat Alar. It is an elven hymn, and I hope you enjoy it." And as she begins, she opens her mouth. And even Chyna's taken aback. It is sing-songy, beautiful. It twists and weaves through the branches of the trees that embrace the field proper. Tears begin to drop from the eyes of festival goers as they listen to the beautiful crystalline tone
Danny Boy in Ireland.
make its way around. And as she finishes, they just slowly erupt into grand applause.
She didn't write her own music. Like, it's not an original.
All right. It's very. You have a very interesting talent. Do you practice? She looks at Simeon and she says, "Yes, I do, sir." Not enough. If I had a catapult, you'd be halfway to the Moon Sea by now. Dismissed. And the boos of the crowd, boo!
I start cheering like crazy.
Ranquess and Merkesh go nuts as she just slumps and walks off the stage.
Anytime they want to flame China's company.
Parla looks at him and says, "Well, there's no need to be so nasty, Simeon. It's not nasty, dear. It's show business, and they've got to know. Like when they come to my show, you've got to bring something better than that. Every dumbass human from here to Baldur's Gate can do that. I want to see something different. You, what's your name?" And he looks at He looks at the young boy, and the young boy steps forward. He says, Matthew, Mr. Caldwell. Matthew, all right then. What have you got for us today? I'm going to do a magic trick, sir. He looks at Rodney. Rodney? Is it Rodney?
Yeah.
Yes, he looks at Rodney. Rodney just looks at him and he just kind of rolls his eyes and looks back. He's like, all right then, Matthew, let's see what you've got. Matthew begins to pull coins out of his pocket. But he stumbles a little bit. The coins drop to the floor. Oh, sorry, sir. I'm a bit nervous. Yes, Matthew, take your time. We're all friends here. It's a safe place. He begins to stammer and fumble, but as he's reaching down, the coins begin to lift. And he says, oh no, sir, it looks like they've got a life of their own. And they begin to spin around his legs, spin around his shoulders, and then fall to the ground. The audience is silent. And Matthew...
I cheer for the little boy. Because I like children.
Matthew bows.
Good for you.
He looks at you smilingly,
Sure.
and the mother finally softens.
Yeah.
But Simeon doesn't feel that way. Look, I'm not trying to be mean here, but if I took you to Waterdeep and put you on stage, I would be maimed and killed, or worse, completely out of business by the end of the 10-day. Go, get on with it. Get a paper route or something. I don't. The mother carries him. The boy just bursts into tears as his mother ushers him off the stage. Simeon rolls his eyes again. He says, "Next." And this human male, or sorry, the half-elven male stands up, pulls his pipes, and he says, "All right, my name is Ignis, and I come from the frozen north. But it's not too cold that I can't blow a warm tune for you, Mr. Caldwell." Simeon just opens his hands. All right, then, let's have it. And as Ignis begins to blow, the sound is haunting, but there is a warmth to it as it reaches across the audience, waiting, listing, lilting. And he finishes with a flourish. Simeon smiles brightly as the audience begins to chant and cheer. And Simeon says, "Wow, really? How do I describe your sound? It's like a kobold giving birth to an ancient red dragon in the depths of the 9 hells, accompanied by a chorus of tone-deaf harpies. Get out of my sight." He says, "But no, please, don't open your mouth again. Goodbye." And the Elvenman just looks depleted. He actually leaves his pan flutes on the stage, and he walks past you.
You forgot your flutes.
They're no good to me now.
Oh.
I'll go home and work the family farm
No.
in the frozen north.
Oh.
It's an ice farm.
No, you should really just get your flutes.
I
It's
farm
beautiful.
ice.
No, it's
And he
beautiful.
walks away, he ignores you.
Oh, that's.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't get this hot and just.
Is that it then?
No.
An attendant whispers in his ear. It's like, all right, Miss Chyna Bit.
It's Chyna Bigly.
All right, Miss Bigly.
Yes.
What have you got for us?
Well, I am a well-known, famous bard from around the region, and
I'm sure you
have been
are.
traveling with an amazing group of adventurers. So I wrote a song about our adventures.
You better get to it, Miss Bidley, before I fall asleep.
All right, here we go. Come gather around and hear my story to tell about hills far and demon goats. And you may not believe a single word I say, but I'm gonna sing it anyway. Ranquess, no team, and Merkesh, Tamasin and Faerun. They are all very brave. They all made lots of saves, but Chyna Bigly saved them all. goat started to scream. And everyone curled up and cried. That bard Chyna stood up tall, and she helped defeat them all. And everyone shouted out, huzzah! Ranquess, no tea, and Merkesh, Tamasin, and Faerun. They are all very brave. They all made lots of saves, but Chyna Bigly saved them all. And in Hills Far it was much the same. But I can't give away our plans. All you need to know is that Chyna stole the show, and now she's here to sing for you. Everyone, Ranquess, no tea, and Merkesh, Tamasin, and Faerun. That's me! Yes, they are all very brave. What's to say? But Chyna Bigly saved them all one last time. But Chyna Bigly saved them all.
Wow.
Well done.
All right.
Just wiped the tear. There's a person next to it. It's all true.
That time your bard was an actual bard.
That's my bard.
Ranquess just goes, ha, I get it. It's a comedy act. Get off the stage, clown.
Okay, no check needed. I can't possibly make you roll dice after that. But immediately, there's a breath of silence.
Thank you.
And that silence is blistered by uproarious applause suddenly as the audience just begins to cheer and clap and hurrah, and they're speaking amongst themselves. Even Simeon Caldwell stands up and he looks to his counterparts. They share some words back and forth. And the rumble of the crowd grows louder and louder and louder as the cheering and merriment, and they start, Chyna,
Yes.
Chyna, Chyna,
This is my dream.
as Simeon reaches forward to a gold stone button in the middle of the table and slams it
I'm getting
down.
the gold button.
Boom.
Oh.
And you know in that instant, as the rumbling continues and grows louder and louder, that the rumbling is no longer coming from the crowd. Before you can act, the pitted soil and rock beneath the festival.
I knew it. I've been saying Travis the entire time.
I did
The
know,
field
but
splits
Chyna didn't.
and vaults upwards in odd angles. Help! Showering the entire area with eruptions of dirt and
Oh,
stone,
Jesus, oh God.
as the
Dude.
cheering and laughter
definitely
is
coming
instantly replaced by screams of terror from fleeing villagers.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sonic.
The deafening sound of the bedrock splitting is contested only by the piercing shatter of explosions around the entire circumference of the festival area. The stage gives a mighty heave and splits in the center. It splits upward down the middle, showering everyone in the area with heavy splinters of wood and sharp iron shrapnel. As the screams grow louder and the terror begins to consume the entire area, suddenly an air of darkness fills the field.
Just sang an awesome song.
The ground is quaking and heaving so hard that it becomes nearly impossible to stand, as the soft silt of the ground begins to sink inwards, and a massive sinkhole appears where the stage once stood. It rapidly begins to expand, swallowing children, merchants, guards, and all, as they scramble to save themselves, but ultimately fall into the darkness beneath. The last thing you notice as you start to slide towards the center
Meet me.
is Rin Socrest's form looking at you, and he begins to shimmer and fade
Oh dear.
as it is replaced, and the image falls away, revealing the dark gray skin and scraggly white tones, squinting against even the little light as the heaving, hulking form of the Druagar faces you. Chyna, he grabs for you.
Okay.
Roll an escape, which is
What's escape?
Athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Acrobatics, it is. Ooh, that's an 8.
Okay, everyone make a dexterity saving throw. As the ground continues to heave and sink and crack, now
19.
just this utter blackness. 19. You manage to hold your standing, and Chyna and this
Can I get
Druid are
to
now wrestling. They're about 15 feet away from you. Fine.
15.
15. You're thrown to the ground as the screams surround you, and all you see are legs
Yes.
fighting not to be trampled now, and literally children, women, everything in between being sucked into this pit in the center of the field.
12.
12. Thrown to the ground as well. Now struggling to untangle yourself with your own robes, you look around, somewhat panicked. Something definitely odd is happening here.
Something's gone
Merkesh,
terribly awry.
23. You manage to stumble and
moving
stand. You
still.
manage to hold off a couple
so
of festival goers who are screaming and trying to run the opposite way out of the field.
Do I see this Durgar
You,
harassing
you
her
can
on
see
the
it heaving and splitting, and before you can even draw together the conclusion of what's happening, images of other festival goers who don't seem to be running like the rest also begin to shimmer and flicker and grow as more Druigar begin to appear.
Oh, jeez.
And next thing you see,
Can I see anyone I know?
Can I get to
do it
Chyna?
with
I
trap.
can see
you can see Chyna
Chyna.
struggling with a Druigar on the stage.
Can I get to Chyna?
You can
move
see
where we
you can
are?
see Tamasin about to try and scramble towards her.
So where am I? I'm
So Chyna and Tamasin are in the center of the stage. Fine is on the ground, maybe a little bit closer if you were watching the show. We'll allow that, but he's prone. Ranquess is probably with Fine, or he's probably close to you actually, Merkesh.
Yeah,
As
just
you
further
guys
back.
were watching the show,
Yeah.
and you guys are close.
Okay.
As you manage to retain your balance. Let's roll initiative.
Oh my god. Oh my.
It's not 20.
Oh, that was
11.
awful.
14.
I'm using my inspiration to do that. I still have.
Okay.
Wait, you know what?
That was awful.
I think.
Yeah, that's
I
better.
don't have my inspiration. Oh, wait, nice.
Yeah, no.
No, I
was
did
thinking
use
the
it.
11.
Dang it.
And there goes that inspiration. There we go.
Yeah, I just did the same thing. I'm like, man, inspiration roll. I need to get the top. I had to have my inspiration.
So bear with me a quick second here,
Yeah, not
guys.
inspiration. Initiative right now.
I'm also a little bit scared right now.
Yeah, me too.
Going from like la 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 la
No, I used to lose. No, it's to lose.
I actually couldn't be happier that this is happening right now, as the last time we faced Durgar, I got to miss it.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
right.
actually,
You died in
last
a
time
corner.
we faced Trugar, everyone except me missed it.
Literally, the song was about that particular encounter.
All right, Chyna.
Yes, I got 19.
19. These are not orcs, they're Druigar,
Okay.
and they are now enlarged Druigar.
They're big.
Wait, is this a Druigar on the cover?
2 in, around
No.
Miss Bigly, if you please.
Yep.
2 next to you in Ranquess.
Oh God. I mean, like we knew.
There are 2 on the stage.
One, one where Fine is. And here's another for this side of the stage.
Oh, we are in so much trouble.
I like how those dudes lean.
Sorry, Chyna, what'd you roll?
19.
Okay. Tamasin?
18.
Nice.
Fine.
That was
11.
an inspiration.
Ranquess.
11.
Roll off, guys.
3.
19.
So Ranquess and then
Fine,
Fine. And
For those
Merkesh?
guys, Merkesh rolled a 14.
All right. Merk.
Third. Maybe.
Okay, you guys are gonna have to help me remember because the orcs aren't numbered. Sorry, we've got Druigar 1 and 2 there.
We'll call 1 and 2 the guys on stage.
Yeah. 1
I was
and
going to
2.
say just number it closest to him, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Well, you can call
So-
one of them
but they're gonna
Sin, whatever the
move
guy's
The
name was.
1 is going to be the guy by
Rin.
Ranquess.
Rin,
2 is
yeah,
the
I
one
didn't
by
remember.
Merkesh, 3 is the one by Tamasin.
Going
4 is
from
the
Sorry,
you-
sorry. Hold up. Because I already numbered them.
Closest to you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sorry.
So closest to you.
No, I'm gonna tell you because I already numbered them.
Okay.
So 1 and 2 are on stage. That works.
1,
1,
2.
2. Yep.
3, 4.
3, 4. Okay, yes, gotcha. All right,
So
perfect.
it's just the other way.
Yeah, opposite way.
Okay, awesome. All right. And then D1 and D2 are these two guys. Those guys are O,
You
1
mean
through
D
4.
bag 1
All right.
and D bag 2.
And let's begin. Number 1 grapples you, Chyna.
Yes.
And he is going to attempt to restrain you with advantage as his friend jumps in as well. And he rolls a 19 to restrain you. Roll another escape to avoid being restrained.
What is that again?
Athletics or acrobatics, whichever you choose.
That's a critical fail.
Okay, I'm using my inspiration
Okay.
because I know.
You still have to beat a 19.
This is the moment for it.
I know.
This is the moment.
20,
Oh my
21,
God.
23.
You avoid being restrained.
Lucky sucker.
You're still grappled though and
Yes.
cannot move. His friend is going to attempt to grapple you with advantage because his friend is helping. The first was a 1. Roll another escape. Oh, and it's advantage anyway because they're enlarged now. It's +5. Beat a 16.
15.
You are restrained. As these two Druagar now almost completely eclipse Chyna from your view as they hold her and they begin to push towards the center as the stage begins its final throws and sink into the center. Chyna, it's your turn. No, sorry, it's
Well, I rolled a 19.
it is D1.
Jesus.
You're close to fine. Or Meg.
Is that D1?
Is that 1?
Oh, are they numbered?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was D1. I'm
1?
by D2's by me.
Pick it up, Meg, and look at the figure. Is it a 1 or a 2?
It's 1.
It's 1. He's going to run up on
Oh,
stage
fucking Christ.
and he is going to make a grab for Tamasin.
Of course he is.
Oh
What did we
shit.
say this next episode was going to be called?
Chyna and Tamasin's kidnapped and measured?
Yes.
That's so predictable. All right, Tamasin, roll an escape check. DC 15.
No, it's 4.
As the large, stinking, dank arms wrap around you, growing almost as they're getting around you, pins your scale mail to your sides, pinching your skin,
Damn.
and he holds you solid. Chyna,
Oh, this is
Yes.
terrible.
your turn.
Sure is. What can I do? Try to
You
escape?
can try to escape.
Yes,
yeah.
let's do that then.
You have to break the restraint first, so
Okay.
that's 1 escape roll.
So it's same thing, acrobatics.
Yep,
That's a 13.
he beats you.
Yeah. I
You
thought
are
he might.
unable to rest these mighty, hulking arms around you. Now 2 sets of arms, almost squeezing the life and the air out of
please
you.
don't do that.
Um,
I use these to sing.
Tamasin.
I'm going to try and get away.
Yep.
I'm not going to succeed because that's a 9.
Okay. You're held fast by this hulking Druagar. Number 2.
Oh, wow.
Number 2
Oh, wow.
Actually,
that was a great reaction.
completely disregards Fallen, runs past up to the stage,
You are not his target.
and surrounds Tamasin on this side.
Oh, for God's sake.
Wait, no opportunity of attack?
There.
Reach for an ankle?
And he is also going to grab Tamasin.
Oh my God.
16. Going to try to restrain you.
What do I have? So I have to beat 16? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Let's see. I do not. I
Okay.
do not. I rolled 3. Damn
Rakesh?
Okay, so I am going to use my action to make a shove attack on the dude.
And it's
who's-
funny because
is
the
he
only
adjacent to me,
person
like
who
threat
knows
zone?
He is, yeah.
what's going
Okay,
on right
so I'm
now
going to make a
is
push attack
Merkesh.
to try and
And
knock
he's
him
like
prone
4
or
miles
away from
from
me.
us right now.
And that's my action, and then I'll do something else if that action
Okay.
works out.
Roll your attack.
It's
Or
an
is it athletics? Yeah,
check.
roll your
Merkesh, you're the
athletics.
only one who
Athletics.
knows
That
what's
is
going
a
on.
13.
Rings and
He rolls a
fire on the
16.
ground.
Oh, with
Going
advantage.
to
It
use
doesn't
my
matter.
Wondering what the hell.
Okay.
And that is 2. That's
He's,
not any better.
yeah, he's still 16 with advantage.
So,
Okay.
Merkesh, you're the only other one right now who actually knows what the hell's going on.
So your action's out.
No pressure,
Yeah.
but we're both being actively kidnapped right now.
Movement or bonus?
I'm going to action surge to attempt to do it again
Okay.
and knock his ass down.
Okay.
And that's a 5 on my athletics. I hate athletics.
Oh,
boy.
he rolled a 9 with advantage. That's.
Oh,
I don't know about-
don't
all right.
tell him how low
no,
you
he's
rolled.
like-
Okay, no, you already said it, right? It's like-
You're out of luck.
Yeah.
You used your
No,
last
I
luck.
got
We
short
haven't
rest.
rested.
Oh, do you get it back on a short rest? All 3?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go
No,
for it.
that's lucky,
Okay, so
isn't it?
let's try it again with luck. and then that's an 8. So again, not
Oh
managed.
my god!
That was
We're
my
just failing
action. That was
all
my
the athletic
action
checks right
surge.
Yeah, because it
I'm
just
done.
replaces
We're
a roll.
not
Okay.
We're not
You
a
know
Cashes
strong
out.
group of
Fuck it.
individuals.
Fuck it. I'm still moving for the stage. I'll take the opportunity attack. I'm going for it.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
He
I'm
is,
running for the girls.
he's gonna take his opportunity
You're
attack.
gonna die. All three of us are gonna
14.
They're not gonna
14
kill me
would
right
hit.
now.
Battle
They're not gonna kill me.
9 damage.
If they
As
wanted
you
to
peel
kill me,
away,
they would've already
3 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, they're just trying to kidnap
6
me.
damage. As you peel away and make a beeline for the
Just 'cause
stage.
I'm there.
I
I'm
think probably
going-
because you were with me.
Ow, that sucked. So that was like 5. And then that would be 10.
Mhm.
And then let's go 15. And let's go 20. And let's go 25. And let's go 30 right in the middle of them. And
Okay.
I'm going to get right in the middle of them. I'm going to try and free the girls.
Okay.
I'm like dog piling right now.
Underdog
Ranquess.
party.
Yes. There ain't no party like an underdog party.
Is
an
the
underdog
guy
party's dark, you can't see
is the
shit.
one that's near me supposed to be like right beside me, like adjacent, or no?
He is. Yeah, he's within melee range on the other side of you.
Okay, so I'm supposed to.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I
Okay,
cast
so I'm gonna
with your
use
hand.
They know who
half
they were
movement
looking
to
for.
stand up. It's half movement, right? So stand.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to hit him with shocking grasp.
Okay.
Ooh.
No, I am not.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, we all
Oh, this
suck.
is a
As
really
you reach
good time
forward,
for
your
all of us
lightning,
to
your
meet.
This
hands
is great.
coursing with lightning,
Nobody
but
can
he
roll over
ducks
5
back
right
and he
now.
looms over you as the lightning dissipates
And
before you
finds
manage to
the
get a
line.
grasp
And
on
still on
him.
the floor.
Any movement from you?
Nope.
Okay. So number 3 is going to make a run for the stage,
Okay, right after me.
and he's going to try and grapple Merkesh.
Oh god, we're all going to the Underdark.
It's a natural 20.
That's 19 plus my dex is 22.
Oh my god, did you just beat it?
Okay, so he's a natural 20 plus his 5, which is 25.
Oh god damn it.
So he grapples you effectively, and he's going to travel at half movement and pull you away from the stage for 2 blocks. 'Cause he's got,
You're so
yeah, 2 back. He's large too, so he's, yeah, there you go. Back here this way. Be right back down here. Good stuff. And number 4 is going to
Jesus, Faerun.
take a swing at. Actually, he's going to grapple Ranquess. 6. DC 18. Athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Nope.
It's a 1. As he wraps his arms around you and also pulls you back 3 squares.
It has been a while.
1, 2, 3. Pulls you back 3 squares.
It seems like the dice want us to lose.
And at the end of that round, with a last, at the end,
I know I'm
before the end of the
going
round,
now you know
Faerun
what it's
gets
like.
to go.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I literally have it here. Fine.
kept-
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
was like,
Fine.
"Oh, God, not again. So, not again. And I will rush forward. Well, not rush,
So you only
I'll
have.
run.
Oh yeah. So half your movement.
Right, so
which
half
is
my
like
minute
30.
takes me to 25, and then what is that? Like? Yeah.
Half his
Yeah,
movement is
exactly.
25. All right. Okay. So
Like
you
it's
can make it
rounded
up
out,
there
right?
pretty
Yeah.
easily.
Perfect. I will attempt.
That one's holding Chyna.
Oh yeah. So what is it?
I have 2 of them.
Advantage?
holding.
I have 2 of them holding
For
me.
what? What are you trying to do?
Oh yeah. Just attack.
Just attack him. You can
engage him,
attack.
yeah,
Yep. Sure.
yeah. All right. The quarterstaff is a 16.
That's a hit.
Perfect. 16
Thank God someone.
5. For 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Then with that's a 6, isn't it? Unarmed strike is 11 to hit.
Okay. The unarmed strike is not successful. As Theron's memory comes hard down with the fury and rage, doing whatever you can to interrupt this assault, it cracks deep into the back of this large Druagar, drawing blood from a welt that appears almost instantly, but he doesn't bulge. His writhing muscles just tight around Chyna's body. As far as you can tell, you can't even see her at this point. She's literally encased with large stinking Druagar.
Lovely.
And your unarmed comes around and boom, sinks deep into the side, and it ripples against his skin, but he doesn't move. Any movement?
I'm sorry?
Any movement? Or
No, I don't have very much left.
Okay.
Word.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, at the end of the round, with a last heave and thundering crack,
Bye.
the stage sinks inwards into utter blackness. It cascades out around it towards the edges. Merkesh and Ranquess make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Where now?
Nope.
No.
As I roll my dexterity saving throw, which is a 21, I scream Tamasin at the same time with the incredible burst of strength as I'm about to jump into a sinkhole.
Heroic sinkhole jumping.
Noble.
I don't think we hear it.
I think I'm fairly well encased in an enormous.
If I did, Chyna would be so happy about that.
Tamasin would just be confused.
But at the same time, a little upset because,
I'd still be confused. Just
Yeah, I
really
know.
confused.
Chyna would.
As your descent is
Fine,
chased
in the underdark.
by the screams and panicked cries of those who are remaining, as they also are swallowed up by this large expanding sinkhole. And you see the last of the explosions in the circumference of the field, swallowing everything and anything within it, cascading, descending into deep darkness. Merkesh falling after you, almost in slow motion. Chyna presumably falling somewhere amidst this tangled mess of large, gray, matted Druagar body. Everyone else falling behind, and the glint of Tamasin's scale mail begins to darken as you fall completely out of light. The cataclysm empties into a vast expanse, and you're falling freely, crashing against a rock.
Ow.
50 feet. Everyone roll a dexterity saving throw.
Including me, I'm still grappled.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh, wait,
everyone, including the
It's
Druid.
working. My dice are back, dude. That's a natural 20.
Dex.
Yep, that's a 10.
19.
19.
10.
If you
Is it a 7?
If you rolled
Okay.
under 10, you take 17 damage. If you rolled over 10, you take 8
Have
damage.
you rolled exactly 10?
You save.
Okay.
Save. 10 or over.
10.
Yeah.
8 points of damage with a natural. Okay.
And this is falling damage, fine.
Right, yes. So I will use
So
5 times my monk level to do slow fall.
Okay.
So
So it's 5
Save
times
for
your
20.
monk level
Yeah, save
damage
for 20.
reduction.
Only one who
Okay.
didn't
All right. So
would've
reduce
been
that from what you
the
take.
Jamboree.
Yeah, so no
John.
damage.
Yeah.
As you fall now, you hit a rock slide, and everybody is just, it's impossible. It's like, throughout this,
Hitting a
the
lot.
glance that you see, even those of you with dark vision are having difficulty making out details in the fall as you crash into a slide. You grasp for anything to slow the fall
We're
as
still
you
held,
catapult
right?
off. Huh?
We're still held by those things.
Yes, you
then?
are. You guys are still in this mess, but it's starting to split off in the air now as the Druagar are also suffering damage from the fall. As you slide off, another silence as you free fall through another chasm, and another 50 feet pass with another dexterity saving throw,
I'm
please.
anxious. Chyna's gonna be out. in a
100
second.
feet pass.
Oh, Jesus.
Are we doing a dex saving throw?
9.
13.
God.
I'm broken right now.
21.
Oh, yeah.
If
I wish we
you,
were in combat, because that's my second natural 20 in a row.
if you,
I'm
oh my
broken
God.
because I'm splattered.
If you
in
rolled,
rocks
if
and
you rolled
five-
10 or higher, you take 6 damage. If you failed, you take 13 damage.
Ow.
Oh my God.
I'm
Now
at
the
10.
screams have even
Wait,
got
what's it?
silent, and there's just deathly quiet. Beyond the smashing of bodies, the cracking of bones. Even the Druagar who are holding on to you, some of them go limp. Their bodies just free falling. Blood soaking your garments, soaking your face as you fall continuously.
We're falling forever.
Again, against the sides of this cavern, bodies are just cascading into the darkness. Roll one more dexterity saving throw for me, please.
I'm so
out.
toast. Oh, I'm not.
Third die.
It's a 19.
Okay, well, that didn't
He rolled an 18, but still, he has to roll
Somehow I
really
just pulled a
low.
19 off.
If you roll 10 or higher, you take 7 damage.
I'm
Oh
at
my-
0.
If you rolled,
3.
I was already at 0 the round before,
If
so I
you-
take a death save.
if you
Automatic
failed,
fail.
if you failed, you take
You kill us.
14?
what did I say? 17. You take 15 damage if you failed.
So just to be clear with the mechanics,
it was
I get a reaction on each of
14
those.
damage, babe.
Because
You
it's like
can,
a
for your
new-
falling, yeah, because
Yeah,
it's not
okay.
really
Brad,
combat.
it
You
was
can go ahead.
14 if you failed. 'cause
It was
you said
15.
Yeah,
You said 7 for
'Cause it's half rounded
Oh,
down,
Okay, sorry,
yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
I'm at 3. One more.
You are
I'm at 0.
out. You're conscious.
I'm at 3.
You are.
I'm 20. I haven't taken any damage.
You haven't taken any.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Ranquess.
there's no falling.
You're at
damage.
1 death save.
Yep.
1 failed save.
One failed save because of the damage on
Merkesh?
that one.
I'm still up.
You're still up.
Yep.
Okay.
I was able to
And
do
in
a bunch
silence
of
that
saves.
feels like it's taken forever, suddenly
Ow.
you're submerged into thick wetness. You can't even see. You cannot see a single thing.
No, I'm blind.
Fine, even as your dark vision is trying to adjust in the free fall, you fall headlong into the darkness, and you just hear, when you're submerged, you just hear the of debris and stone falling around you. Merkesh, as you land hard into the water, the wind leaves you momentarily as you fall on your back, cascading deeply into this thick wetness again. Same thing, it's so deep pitch in here that your dark vision is having a hard time adjusting and focusing. Help! Anyone? Over here! What happened? I don't know! I can't see! You hear a few voices groaning, splashing, thrashing. This panicked existence, pure chaos and utter darkness.
This is
Can I
terrifying.
hear
I'm
them?
terrified.
Like,
I'm so
so I
scared.
quickly take my silken rope, bind my waist with,
Okay.
and then leave a trailing edge, and I will try to swim over and try to like pick people up and like
Okay.
they can hold on to the
You
rope.
you're still, even in this pitch darkness,
Yeah.
however long you've been falling, you can't make out shapes. You can only follow the voices. You can
Right, yeah.
barely find outlines.
Okay.
I will be.
But eventually, a glow begins to permeate the area distantly. It's still just a very dull glow, almost like a headache in the distance. Tamasin, you're still up.
Am
do?
I grappled still?
As you breach the water, nothing is holding you. You have no idea what's going on. You cannot see anything.
see a
You can hear
damn
voices.
I'm gonna call for Chyna because I think she's the only person who I know was near me. Chyna?
Echoes. No answer.
Merkesh? Fun? Anybody?
I hear you,
that's
Tamasin.
Who's there? You hear some other voices answering, but they aren't ones that are familiar to you, other than Fine and Merkesh.
I can't see anything. I have no idea where you are.
I think now's probably a good time for Bagoosh, yeah?
Yeah, probably. Anyone with dark vision, shield your eyes. Bagoosh.
And the brilliant luminescence of Saloon easily fills the chamber. And as you take in your surroundings, you see cracked, bloody, panicked individuals. Some of them are on broken pieces of rock that are floating in the darkness. You hear the dripping of water coming from and dripping from somewhere else. Echoes abound in this resonant circular cavern. And if we can clear the map and remove the top sheets,
Oh.
you take in your
I
surroundings.
don't know what I'm doing. I'm so stressed.
And you can take the bodies out of there.
I see the bodies.
And place all the tokens in the middle. As the resonant light of Saloon illuminates the entire cavern, bodies strewn everywhere, some of them moving, some certainly not. There are legs twisted in awkward ways, and certainly it looks like an absolute massacre here at the bottom of the way. You have no idea how many have fallen into the water. Some float on these now islands created by debris from the surface.
Can I see Ranquess?
You can now
Because
see...
I've accounted for two of my friends. I know Chyna was...
Roll an investigation check.
With assistance?
Can I offer her assistance?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
a 19.
Okay.
I'm good.
You immediately pinpoint a floating body with the recognizable
Recognized
robes.
All right, and I'm not even going to try and get over there. I'm just going to cast Healing Word at a second level.
Okay. Roll one more death saving throw for the time.
Don't roll that one.
Do I have to roll one then
Not a
too?
1. It's a fail, but it's not a
Do I
1.
have to roll one?
Yes, roll a death saving throw.
For
She's fine.
Okay.
She rolled a 1.
But
There
you
you
don't
go.
add anything, do you?
No.
14.
So, what's
So
the
it's
fail?
one failed death
Why not?
saving throw.
Ranquess.
She didn't lose anything.
14.
14 healing points.
Yeah.
So as you locate Ranquess, Merkesh, you are assisting. You easily see Tamasin wading her way, but the scale mail begins to soak and drag her deeper. Roll a Constitution saving, an athletics check for me.
Yeah, I'm really good at those. 12.
Okay. She's fluttering, and her head, as she just gets the healing off, she's beginning to sink. Okay, roll with advantage. As you feel Merkesh's arm wrap around you
18.
and lift you just above.
Hey.
as your arm grabs for his shoulder, you get the whole like saving a drowning victim thing as she pulls, but you're able to kick against the water.
okay.
Has anyone seen Chyna?
No, the two Drugar had her. They had her completely. I have no idea where she went. And if she took as many hits as I did on that way down, I can't imagine she's in very good shape right now.
All right, let's spread out and find her.
Can I cast, use one of the scrolls that I got and cast Alter Self, aquatic form on myself, and then search underwater?
It's going to be difficult to do in the water, but go ahead and try. Now let's figure out how to use scrolls. You know, it's
Yes,
it's,
I do.
it's
If it's a spell
it's
level
a skill
you can
check,
cast, you can cast it. If
and you
not,
can't cast Alter Self, right?
Yeah. If it's something
So-
above your level, the DC equals 5 plus the spell's level. No, 10 plus the spell level.
And there's no like other checks. So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You can easily recite the incantation. The
So,
scroll
I use it, yeah.
dissipates in the air as you have the familiar now webbed fingers begin to form in gills shaping your neck. And you find it's actually harder to breathe above water as it is to breathe underwater.
Yeah, so I just dive and start searching frantically for Chyna.
The eerie quiet of the subterranean and submerged in the water seems to echo in on yourself as you look. Your dark vision helps you scan the area. You make out when you dick when you dick your Jesus
Dove?
Good night, everybody.
when you duck your head below the surface, it's a scene of horror below. People who preceded you on the descent have sunk to the bottom. Some of them
There are
wearing
so
armor,
many
some of them pinned behind rocks, none of them moving, obviously beyond help. Strewn amongst them are a couple of Drogar bodies. You even see a couple of small bodies that are gnome-like, but not like anything else that you've seen. They're twisted somehow, but they're in the bottom. Every now and then, out of your peripheral, something slithers by and just goes through. Just there's some sort of deep subterranean wildlife in the water. Doesn't seem to bother you at the moment.
Okay.
Roll an investigation check for me.
That is 15.
But otherwise, no sign of Chyna Bigly.
Am I even on this map right now?
We don't know.
Fine.
Chyna!
Okay.
I will go sweep around there, sort
Your
of
voice
like...
echoes around the cavern to no answer. All you're answered by now are the screams and wailing of innocents who seem to have befallen
there
the same
children
fate
near
as
me?
you. There are definitely some children
many
in
can I
the,
see?
in the you can see 2 or 3 that are huddled. 2 that are huddled on this
So this is water. This is a
this
shore.
rock.
Yep.
Yeah, so these are floating rock from the surface. So what you notice is this surface has like grass and sand. Doesn't match anything. These are chunks that have fallen from the top side
And everyone's
and made
injured.
all the way down. There are 2 children up here, screaming, crying, holding one another, and there's another flailing here in the water,
All right. Oh,
in the darkness.
All right.
I'm
All
able
right.
to see.
I'm
Screaming for
I'm
his
assuming
mother.
they're all her.
God damn it.
No, yeah, I need to get that kid out of the water up onto the rocks, and then I want to use my channel divinity to heal some of them. There are too many hurt people here for me to deal with, but
All right.
The flailing one, I imagine.
the flailing one.
Yeah.
Hi, flailing one.
Okay, so while she's trying to attend to the wounded kids, can we take a look around this cavern, see what else?
Sure,
other
roll an
details we can
athletics
discern?
check
'Cause I have
for
to
me
roll
as you peel away from Markesh
It's a 3.
and immediately begin to flounder, but she's driven by her need to save this kid as she gets away from you. But you see her, she's going to sink before she gets close to you.
I have to go and rescue Tamasin.
I'm sorry.
As Markesh crawls towards you, fighting against the water,
Tamasin.
roll with advantage. Roll one more. Oh, that's fine too. Okay. So as Markesh props you up again, and you both kind of team up to save this alien
right.
youngster.
This
As
time
he's
I get her
flailing.
over to the rock and get her hand on it.
Okay.
Thanks.
You manage to pull the whole mess of you over to the rock, up onto the shore, climb up a little bit. You see the other 2. They're safe for now, but they're just holding each other and crying. They're wailing. 2 children on this rock here.
Yeah. Are they
You
hurt?
managed to save the other one. They don't look much worse for wear at the
They're
moment.
just scared.
This child is damaged, though.
The drowning one.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anybody else near me? I just don't want to waste this. Who I can get Ranquess in this as well. Anybody near me who's injured that I can see?
As the child in your arms breathes his last breath,
No, that's not happening.
he goes
That is
limp in your arms.
Absolutely not happening. That is, I'm going to spare the dying.
You
Brings back to one
beckon,
hit point.
you
And-
beckon and beg
And then I'm going to
Saloon
use
to
my
assist
channel.
you.
Shite. Come on, Saloon. You live in my brain.
But unfortunately, even the moon goddess cannot assist you or this child as he passes away.
I'm so pissed off.
Is that a screenshot of your die roll?
Screw.
Oh my god.
Fine. All right. I'm really angry right now, and I'm going to just put him down and cover his
Yeah,
eyes.
hold that thought.
The three darkened
Have a moment.
portions under the table.
Ranquess, still searching around. Roll another investigation check for me, as you've pretty much now covered the entire circumference of this cavern as far as you can see.
That is a 17.
You still can't find any sign of Chyna Bigly.
Do I see anyone else who is still struggling, moving?
Not underneath the water, unfortunately, no.
The,
Even the Druagar here have begun to become bloated.
Do I notice any sort of prints up out of the ravine or the sinkhole?
Like tracks?
Yes. Like
The sheer wall, the sheer face of the cliff around here is probably 30 to 40 feet high. So there's nothing really telltale around here. The only other ground that you can see is this shoreline, which seems to be broken stone and just fine silt. And down here, everything is so dark, it almost has like a deep black purple essence to it. It's just so dark that it even gives your dark vision difficulty working through it.
Were those blackened things around the edges tunnels?
They are caverns that seem to recess into parts of the wall, but this
apparently
is
these
about
are like
35,
40
feet up. Yeah.
Sheer.
I'm going to do a thing.
Okay.
I would like to pull out my lucky little magic finding glass and all that and actually use the charge of it so that for 10 minutes I can see any magical items.
Okay.
So while I'm going underwater, if she's anywhere in this water, something that she's carrying is going to light up and I'm going to be able to find her.
A wise thought, and you can reasonably assume that after scanning with the wand ignited that there is no sign of anything magical in the water.
Okay, so
Fine, you make your way to the shoreline here and roll me a survival check at disadvantage because this is certainly not familiar terrain to you.
Survival. Where are you, survival? Okay.
Wisdom.
9. Was that a 6? So 8.
8?
Yeah.
The only thing that strikes you as odd are deep tracks in the silt that go from the water, and they're still pooling wet puddles up here. And as you see this now, you notice that the glow is coming from this area, and these growths here, these fungal growths seem to be emanating a very soft green light into the chamber, but that is the best that you can reason. As the rest of the civilians begin to take stock of where they're at and what's happening, the panic screams just start to fall into shocked silence. There are definitely less voices. You can reasonably assume that some of them may have befallen the same fate as this unfortunate child.
All right,
We'll
we have
pause it.
solid ground over here.
well, I'm standing behind Tamasin, who's holding his dead kid. So I put my hand on Tamasin's shoulder and let her know that he's gone,
I'm
and
aware.
there are others that need your help.
Yep.
As you
Yep.
attempt to console her.
I'm putting him down.
I'm surfacing
I'm
over
fairly
at
stoic
that
about
area.
that.
Yeah.
Rank was
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
burst
But I'm
into the
fairly
water.
stoic.
We need to get as many people that are surviving in this cavern as possible over to that
Yeah.
shoreline.
We
And
need to
then
get them
once
out of this
they're
water.
There, we need to leave them there.
Yes.
Get like our short rest on. No, we need to track down China.
We need to track down Chyna.
You couldn't save the child?
I couldn't save the child.
Although,
I pull out another scroll.
Pause that. Chinese, you blink. Utter darkness surrounds you, followed by a flash of white light. Your eyes go in and out of focus. It's just an eerie, cold, solid slab beneath you. You stretch your hands. You suddenly and slowly begin to regain consciousness. The light that enters your eyes seems both dark and brilliant at the same time, forming halos around the exterior edges of your vision. But you do begin to slowly become aware that you're breathing. You're sore. But at least as far as you can tell, you're alive.
Okay. Two. I have. Oh, well, I might have a little bit of an idea. I'm assuming. Is there anyone around me? Is there anything else around me?
As you take a closer look, your eyes barely start to adjust until soft white orbs illuminate. But they don't show you anything. All you can see is if though you're looking out of a window that is lit from within, causing reflection. It's like when a sunny day is behind you and you're looking, you can only see your reflection.
I'm in a goddamn necklace. Not I.
And a scraggly, eerie, haunting voice resonates around the area where you are. Good morning, little knight.
Okay, that's freaking creepy.
That's where we'll end our session.
That was the most carnage. Like, so much carnage.
And thus ends the season premiere of Charisma Check. Season 2 kicked off. I'm just pumped. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm shaking. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun, you guys.
That was a crazy.
So be sure to come back next Thursday.
Seriously.
Cataclysmic.
Oh my God.
So who knows
They're
what's
just
to
dead.
come in the next line. If you had half as much fun watching as we did playing for you, we're doing something right. Thank you, Checkmates. Be good to each other. We'll see you next Thursday right here for Charisma Check.
Sound still a little rough, but it's getting better.